Tonight's episode of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club is brought to you by Drew Estate. Come experience the rebirth of cigars at www.drewestate.com and download the free Drew Diplomat smartphone app today to discover nearby retailers, RSVP to special events, redeem points to win exclusive Drew Estate merchandise, and much, much more.
This might be a big mistake, but I'm having too much fun to wait. Flag her down when she comes back by. That one's yours and this one's mine. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round.
Here's the suckles.
Good evening, brothers and sisters of the leaf. Coming to you live once again from the bone-chilling hellhole affectionately known as the Corner of No Hope. It's the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. Tonight, the gang's drunken countdown to Halloween continues as they talk their way through the sweaty and bloody double feature of 1987's Killer Workout, followed by 1989's Death Spa. And what's classic 1980s aerobics-based horror without booze and smokes? The boys will be lighting up 2 separate cigar offerings from Oscar Valadares tonight while drinking a blood-curdling amount of Oskar Blues Death by Coconut Porter. So slide on your favorite leotard, folks. Sit back, light 'em up, and enjoy the show.
So I made a pretty big decision regarding the future direction of the show without consulting you guys. Yeah, Ax, you know that Tut and I went and saw Steve Martin and Martin Short in concert last week?
Yes.
And to say it was a life-altering experience would be an understatement.
It was amazing.
I know we try to be funny here on the podcast. A big part of our show, actually, try to make you folks laugh, hopefully. But I walked out of that concert hall realizing just how unfunny I truly am.
Man.
How unfunny,
I realized how unfunny you are.
and how funny all of us are, actually. Especially you guys. My stomach hurt so goddamn much from laughing for 2 hours. My insides hurt. Like, I was in pain. And I don't think anyone's insides have ever hurt from the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. That is not a double entendre. So what's the point, really, of even trying to be funny anymore? Now that I've stared true comedy in the fucking face, which literally we're 6th row center, like Steve Martin was 6 feet away. That's a whole nother story. I know now how weak our little act is here. So from now on, we do a little joking around in the beginning, try to start things off light and easy. Not anymore. From now on, I'll be starting each episode off with some selections sprung forth from my new passion of the last week, poetry.
Oh, jeez.
Huh.
Anybody can write bad jokes. No one can write bad poetry.
I'm pretty sure they can.
No, they can't. I was talking about it with a lady who works at my journaling store. That's where I go to now.
Oh, jeez.
So last night, my head was swirling, consumed by thoughts of the Syrian refugee crisis and the ongoing civil war backed by Putin and his fellow wicked forces of darkness and destruction. And as I do now, as of this week, I put pencil to paper in my journal, and now we have this. You ready? It's the first poem I ever wrote, sharing it with you guys and our audience for the first time. Out where the river broke, the blood work and the desert oak, Holden wrecks, boiling diesels, steam in 45 degrees. The time has come to say fair's fair, to pay the rent, to pay our share. The time has come, a fact's a fact. It belongs to them. Let's give it back. How can we dance when our earth is turning? How do we sleep when our beds are burning?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
All right. How can we dance when our earth... No. All right. I wrote more. You don't seem to like that one. A little too powerful, perhaps. I have another poem. Again, seeing those faces on the TV. Little child, dry your crying eyes. How can I explain the fear you feel inside? 'Cause you were born into this evil world where man is killing man and no one knows just why. What have we become? You just look what we have done. All that we have destroyed, you must build again. When the children cry, let them know we tried. When the children fight, let them know it ain't right. When the children pray, let them know the way. 'Cause when the children sing, then the new world begins.
That's White Lion. That's totally a hairband from the 80s.
I beg your pardon? I believe you might be confused, Yakwe.
I know I definitely am.
Confused? Okay. I'll end on this one. I composed this at dawn this morning.
Okay.
All the thoughts of death, genocide swirling in my head. I mean, who can sleep anymore, right?
That's
Certainly,
right.
I can't laugh anymore and I can't sleep. I don't know how anyone with a conscience sleeps anymore. Brace yourself, guys. This one's pretty powerful, pretty raw. I wrote this about domestic violence. I only deal in dark subject matter.
Uh-huh.
You can't forget me, baby. Don't try to lie. You'll never leave me, mama, so don't try. I'll be a gambler, baby. Lay down the bet. We get together, mama. You'll sweat. No place for hiding, baby. No place to run. You pull the trigger of my love gun. 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 We've got a lot of work to do in America.
Yeah,
It starts here. It starts here.
definitely does.
Thoughts?
Not really.
I called that last one Love Gun.
You don't say.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's a working title, but...
Working title, huh?
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club episode.
Mr. Simmons, we are so sorry.
Richard Simmons?
You'll hear from Mr. Simmons' representatives shortly.
Well, I think whatever Richard Simmons' business and I... Whatever business we have together is none of your
Better
business.
hope it's Richard Simmons' attorney.
You're in for a treat tonight, folks. It is episode 81, and you're not going to find a single laugh in the house. Those days are over. Well,
I don't like this new direction.
fine, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor of genocide and death, say aye. All in favor of getting drunk and having a party and a good time, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ah, all right.
The ayes have it.
The ayes
It's death
have
and
it.
genocide.
Yes. All right. Party on, boys. Let's have a drink.
Well,
You don't like the beer? It's 2 weeks in a row. Oh, no, wait.
What's wrong with beer?
I don't like the beer.
He didn't like the summer solstice. That was the last beer he didn't like. So we thought we'd go something darker with, he says he likes... Man.
Oh, it's darker. It's definitely darker. This thing is like pine
Midnight
tar.
oil?
Like midnight oil. Down, down, down.
I'm
that's
not familiar with that band.
okay. It's not my cup of tea.
All right, well, we'll get to the beer in a minute. This is, of course, your smack dab in the middle of our countdown to Halloween, bootacular and spooktastic drinking extravaganza.
Extravaganza. I am a fan of that.
And in all seriousness,
Now we're back to that.
Steve Martin and Martin Short were fucking amazing.
They
No,
were absolutely.
It was the best live performance of anything I've ever seen in my life. I thought about it for days. I walked around in a comedic overdose for days. I wasn't myself.
They ended the show, and I was like, "There's no way that was 2 hours. There's no way that was 2 hours." It felt like 1 hour.
Yeah.
There was not a lull in the entire show. Everything was well paced, well timed, extremely funny. Oh my gosh! Well, we'll be dead when we're 68 and 73. But if we do happen
for movie stars, the amount of work and effort and preparation and just energy they put into this little small theatered show. I mean, these are movie stars, and they brought it bigger than like.
Well, they were stand up before,
of course, but I mean the fact they don't have to do this shit.
True,
and you could tell they're doing it out of the passion.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's on Netflix, an abbreviated version of it. I'm going to wait a while to
me too.
compare the two. But, man, it was just... it was awesome.
It was. It really was.
So,
it really was good.
I'll joke.
In all seriousness, my wife's the Steve Martin fanatic. I appreciate Steve Martin. I really like Martin Short.
I'm the opposite. I was always a big Steve Martin guy. Liked Martin Short just fine, but a huge Steve Martin guy. I walked out of there with a new appreciation for Martin Short. Live, that dude he's like Dean Martin, or like he works the mic and the crowd. Like he's a crooner of comedy. Like he did some shit on stage that I didn't see coming.
I was going to say that I would have passed on this show because I would just been like, tickets are up there, whatever. But I know you guys were one, and Jenny was like, can we? And I was like, all right, let's go see this. I'm so glad I did. I'm glad I pulled the trigger on that.
It was nice. And Tut bought me dinner beforehand.
Sorry we didn't invite you yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry we're sitting here talking about it. You go to stuff all the time without me.
How great of a time it is. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh, there's one.
That's all right. That's all right.
I won't talk about how delicious the Asian food Tut bought me beforehand.
That was good find. That was a very good find. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. All right. Well. Oh, let's talk about some of the other great stuff that happened that night. No, but
Jenna's Asian Kitchen. Shout out.
Yeah, Cedar Park.
I think so.
Man, it was good. But no, we actually got there, and there was some confusion at the security check-in getting in, which usually is with us. And a lady came over to us, and she was like, "Hey, sorry about the inconvenience or whatever." We're like, "There's no big deal, really." She's like, "Here." She goes, 4 tickets. We were up in the cheap seats, up in the way up, 6th row center. 4 tickets. See, if she was with us, she wouldn't have given us those.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, in fact, I did help you.
You did. I'll buy you dinner next time we go out.
Next time we go to a Steve Martin show.
Yeah.
Cade Streeting.
That's recorded. We've got that.
I got tickets to Jeff Foxworthy next month. Oh, man. I'm just teasing. Nobody's going to go see that. We have a big show for you guys. Double feature. 2 movies, 2 cigars. We haven't done that in a long time. Yeah. We got our work cut out for us. After the 5th one, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine with that. I was just thinking about the double features.
Halloween's almost over. So I'm gonna get right to it. Unless you guys got something.
Yeah.
You guys want more poems?
No, absolutely not.
No.
All right. Our first cigar of the night, boys. The 2012 By Oscar Barber Pole.
Barber Pole.
That would be the one that looks like a barber pole.
That is a beautiful looking cigar.
It sure is. It is a 6x52 Toro box press, Mexican San Andreas Maduro, and green Candela tobacco, obviously. Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan and Honduran filler. I'll get to the price later on. A little backstory on the 2012 line. We've actually done the 2012 Corojo and the Connecticut on the show before. Corojo we did earlier this year, and we really liked it.
Yes.
It was a 92 we gave it. All the 2012 Oscars are box pressed, and they're reboot of the original 2012 edition, which was released the year Oscar entered the Valladares entered the cigar business. It was also the year the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world, which accounts for the Mayan-themed artwork.
Good job, Mayans.
I'm sure when Tut heard the moves we're doing that, he wished the world ended in 2012.
Yes.
Luckily for us, the world didn't end, as Oscar's gone on to make some really good smokes that we've come to enjoy. We all love the Leafs by Oscar. The Oscar Habano made our year-end top 10 list last year. And like I said earlier this year, we gave the Corojo a really high score as well. Episode 70, if you want to check that out. So tonight we will start things off by smoking Oscar's first Barber Pole offering. And following it up then with the straight Maduro version of the same cigar. So you're going to smoke a Barber Pole, and then this is basically that cigar without the inclusion of the Candela. Be a good little compare and contrast. See what works, see what doesn't. Everybody understand the game plan here?
Yep. Tell you one thing, I can already, I just like that hay taste off on the end
on the cold draw?
Cold draw.
I gotta tell you, I love these box presses. All the 2012's been box presses.
And Oscar does a pretty good job on that.
He really does. It almost looks like a candy bar. Especially the Maduro looks like a candy bar.
Yeah.
I mean that, looks like a Twix. Take a bite yet. But we will come back to the Maduro later. While we light up, I'm actually going to let Yak Boy introduce. You want to light up first, or you want to talk about the beer first?
Either way,
Talk about the beer.
I will talk about the beer. Death by Coconut. Sounds like its own horror movie.
It does sound like a horror movie. Well, tonight we are doing.
Lighter fluid over there?
You got a little bit.
Yeah, tonight we're doing horror movies, and next week we'll be doing horror movies. Last week we did horror movies.
It's our spectacular.
Week before that, I think we did horror movies.
It's our booze-boo-tacular drinking Halloween extravaganza. It's kind of hard to do non-horror movies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
What else?
You said that was you talking out loud.
Oh,
Sometimes your inner voice slips.
sorry about that. I was listening to the beer. That's by Coconut.
Death by Coconut.
Death by Coconut. From the Oscar Blues.
Hey, Oscar Blues. We're smoking an Oscar cigar.
Huh. Go figure.
Death by Coconut. We're watching Death Spa tonight.
Oh, man.
How do we do it? Week after week.
Just, it's like it finds itself.
Uh-huh.
Oscar Blues Brewing's Death by Coconut. They are located in Longmont, Colorado. But they also have locations in Brevard, North Carolina, and in our own Austin, Texas.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
The Death by Coconut was originally a collaboration with Shamrock Brewing Company. And from that, they came up with this, which is, from their own words, an intense, pure liquid cocoa flavor swirl with popping coconut aromas. All supported by a semi-sweet porter made from loads of our dark chocolate and extra dark caramel malts. This limited release specialty comes around once a year to satisfy that sweet tooth, so get them before they disappear.
We got them before they disappeared.
BS.
It's a 6.5 ABV and only 25 IBUs. And as they say, this choco nut goodness will have you yelling pass, dash hit.
Pass.
That stopped at the pass.
Wait, what?
Pass dash what?
Hit. I have no idea what that means, but hopefully we'll find out. Perhaps
Is that a weed reference?
Sounds like a weed
Puff
reference.
Puff Give?
maybe.
Pass dash. I don't know what that means. Must be a Colorado thing.
All I know is that coconut, that's not aroma I'm tasting.
See, I don't think the coconut's all that strong.
Oh, man, it's there.
It is there, but
Oh.
and I don't like coconut.
I like coconut, but not in my beer.
It's not like you're eating Almond Joy or something.
Yeah, it's very.
No, I appreciate Almond Joy.
I'm just trying to think. Maybe Todd doesn't like beer.
Could
He doesn't like anything we do anymore.
I do, but I don't like frou-frou, coconut.
You get a lighter beer. He's got
infused.
problems with that. It's
No, I
cream
don't
soda.
like-
You
Well,
do
yeah,
a dark
it's-
beer with chocolate and everything he says he likes. Got a little bit of coconut. He flips out.
No, I like beer. I don't like this.
All right, you running for a Supreme Court justice over there?
I like beer. I've always liked beer. You can ask my friend Scooter. You can ask my. Hey Scooter, how you doing?
Can I see your calendars?
Look at my calendars right
Can I see
here.
your really weird little calendars you got over there? I was eating coconuts with Scooter back in March 1992. This is a big hit for them. People love this beer.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very popular.
It is very
It's very popular.
I remember we tried to get it last whatever it was out of season, and everyone was like, "Oh, you got to get it. It's delicious."
And I love Oscar Blues. I love their brewery.
We love the Good Night. We like the Old Chub.
The Good Night, the Old Chub, the Little Yellow was the Little Yellow Pills.
Little Yellow Pills.
Man, they're the Pale Ale, Dale's Pale Ale.
Dale's Pale Ale.
They put out some really, really good beer.
Maybe it's because I don't like porters. I'm liking this. I'm not a porter guy. I remember the last porter we had was that Bell's porter that was just boring and
Boring as
bland.
This ain't boring.
I like it.
This ain't boring at all.
You like it?
I'm liking it.
Any other technical details we need to know?
About them, no.
No.
We've gone over it.
All right.
I really do like them. One day I'd like to go to their place in Austin and just kind of hang around.
Oh, the only thing I will say is if you go looking for it in bottles, you will not find it. They only do cans.
Yep.
Oscar as a whole only does cans.
Cans and kegs.
They started in Colorado, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the Puff Dash hit comes from.
Yeah.
Bet you
Whatever
that
that
is I bet
is.
you that is
Pass
a name.
dash grab. Is that?
Pass dash hit.
Man, that
Pass
sounds like a
Dash
Kavanaugh line. Him and Squee.
Scooter. Can you tell us what pass dash grab ass
Drinking game.
flag football term? It's got a little cartoon picture on the calendar of you grabbing a chick's ass. That's Scooter's ass.
It's my center. Quarterbacks do it.
Drinking beers. All right, if you guys won't let me do my poetry.
Oh,
then-
speaking of weed, this will be delayed, but in real time, Canada just legalized weed. They are the second nation on earth to legalize recreational use of cannabis. Today.
I never really had a hard time finding it when I was living up there. I think they've always smoked it.
Well, that's the one thing that I was.
I'd see young kids,
I was listening to.
and I'd go over there to lecture them, and they would.
Right. Yeah.
I try to be a role model wherever I go.
I was listening to a report, and they were actually they brought up a good point. They're like, where did they get all the weed that they sold today? It was the first day, so technically all the weed that was sold today was illegally grown.
Yeah. They don't care about stuff like that up there.
Tis a lawless land.
Yeah. It was awesome. I mean, not for that. I mean, for other reasons. I lived up there for a while. What I can remember of it seemed like good times, I guess. Really tried to block everything out in my 20s. You were there. You know why.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that is interesting. What do you, you're well into it. What do you think of the cigar?
Like it, man. Well, first of all, the construction on it is great. The airflow on it is flawless.
Smoke production's insane.
Like I said, you had that nice wheat hay feel off the cold draw. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of chocolate. Right off that
Chocolate. A little spice on the
first.
nose, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get it with candelas.
Yeah.
But boy, a real nice, kind of black pepper spice on the nose. But then it's immediately hit with that chocolate on the draw.
Yeah.
The smoke is just traveling up the body of the cigar. Perfect burn line, which with considering two wrappers, to get that straight of a burn line is pretty damn impressive.
And I'll tell you this, I actually like, as much as I hate to say this, I like the pairing between these two because the chocolate off of that cigar
The coconut?
knocks down that coconut.
Kills coconut, but also goes with the coconut. What do they call it? Cacao.
Cocoa.
They said something in the description of the beer about cocoa.
Cocoa flavors swirl with popping coconut aromas.
Yeah.
Sugar, cocoa pop.
Notes of cocoa pebbles.
Cocoa pebbles.
Somebody makes a cocoa pebbles porter. I'm buying stock in that company. Or a Fruity Pebbles IPA.
I would like a Fruity Pebble.
I would love a Fruity Pebble. What do you think, Yax?
I like it. I agree with you. It does have really strong chocolate flavor. And just before lighting up, I mean, just smelling the wrapper, I mean, it had a sweetness to it. So
Yeah. Oh, and I will say this: I'm tired of barber poles. They're pretty. They're artistic. I appreciate them, but I'm just tired of them.
beer. He's against. There's nothing left.
Turning into old cranky guy who hates everything except his. I'm not cranky. I like barber poles. I hate barber poles. I like beer. I hate this beer.
Second cigar, I feel like I hate box press.
I've always
against it.
I've always loved box press.
I've always had a soft spot for them because one of the very first cigars I smoked when I really got into premium cigars was the CAO America, and also one of your early favorite cigars, which is a barber pole.
That is a nice barber pole.
And you always remember your first couple real good cigars that you had.
Yeah.
I always that cigar was, you got a soft spot for it. Over the years, I've, whenever I see a good looking barber pole. Now, granted, we've had some bad barber poles on the show. They don't. It's not always a good idea. Aesthetically, yes, it looks cool. It looks different.
Yeah.
But they don't always work from a flavor standpoint. But man, chocolate and spice so far is what I'm getting.
Oh yeah.
Literally, that's okay. Should we get in this movie?
Why not? I've been avoiding it all night.
All right. In 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do this. We are talking. We got a double feature of. There was a brief stint in the 80s where they decided to make horror films based in workout areas, gyms, fitness centers. And we got 2 of them for you tonight.
Actually, I think there was a brief period in the 80s where they made killer movies in every type of location.
Literally, the horror movie milked everything. A lady's shoe store.
Killer Heels.
Killer Heels. Fuck me and die pumps.
Spike Terror.
We picked 2 of the plethora of fitness center-based horror for you tonight. The first being Killer Workout, 1987.
Killer Workout.
Written and directed by David A. Pryor. Yak Boy and myself, Yak, you might have recognized his name. 99.9% of normal cinephiles most likely will not. David Pryor directed the action classic Deadly Prey, which was released the same year as tonight's film. Both came out in 1989, both starring his brother Ted.
Oh, Ted Pryor.
And he'd go on to direct over 30 other semi-low budget films. We're not talking J.R. Bookwalter low budget, but a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
Until his early death in 2015. He was only in his 50s. But he made a ton of straight-to-video action movies and horror movies. And they're called like the Future Zone movies. There's like a series with David Carradine where he's like a cyborg.
Yes. Yeah.
That's him. Like he just all sorts of these kind of movies.
Wow.
But I picked out of his entire filmography, Killer Workout. Why not?
There was so many others to choose from.
Hey, you know what's gonna be interesting? I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna stand up for Killer Workout tonight. Tut watched me watch this on an airplane coming back from Kentucky. Was it the Kentucky trip?
Kentucky Barn Smoker. Yeah.
I made Tut
By Drew Estate.
I made Tut switch seats with me because I was like, I need to watch movies on the plane for the show. I watched like maybe 10 movies to pick one. And I'm like, but the movies we do, I can't sit in the middle seat with strangers around me watching. I don't know if you can see it on the YouTube. We have a shot from the movie up here of a attractive young woman doing
it's an all right shot.
Doing a split. We're experimenting with a new camera tonight. I may not pick up. If not, let me know. I'll put it on the episode page. Actually, go ahead and just send that to me, Tut. I'll see that it finds the right home. But yeah, Tut kept looking over my shoulder, to see what I was looking at, and I was either laughing or I was, cheering, and I was like, "We're 30 minutes.
You were having a good time.
We're 30 minutes into this thing." I was like, "We're doing this movie. We're doing this movie. There's no backing out now, big guy." Let me take one more puff of my cigar, and then we're gonna dive right in.
I know we shouldn't, but we did.
Well, the first thing an observant audience member notices as the credits begin to roll on Killer Workout is that the name Killer Workout isn't the name that's actually on the film that appears in the credits. No, it's the working title of Aerobicide. Homicide by way of aerobics. That's actually what comes across the screen instead. Personally, I prefer Killer Workout much more to Aerobicide as a... Aerobicide sounds something you'd
like
spray,
a pesticide,
spray bugs for your house. Or maybe it's just because I've been getting in some killer workouts this week. Want to feel my gains, Tut? I told you guys to wear tank tops.
I'm
tonight.
sorry. I just pictured chip
it's-
gangs coming in, and I'm for
Where's your tank tops?
It's freezing.
Well, we start things off by joining a very attractive fashion model named Valerie, who's just received a call from her agent that she's booked on a morning flight to Paris for a big cover shoot. The agent told the Frenchies that she has a killer tan, so she rushes off to the Second Sun tanning salon, where she quickly strips off her clothes, if you're into that kind of thing, and lays down on a giant tanning bed. This thing was enormous.
It really was.
huge.
It's like a king-size tanning bed. You fit like a family of 4 in that thing.
It was crazy.
But she's not in there even a minute before something goes horribly wrong. Smoke and fire start pouring out the sides of the machine. We see her hair burning up as she screams bloody murder. It's a whole scene, man. And then the tanning bed goes completely dark, and we cut to black. You guys ever use a tanning bed?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
Yeah, I did too.
Yes, I have.
Really?
Why'd you do it?
Because I needed a tan.
I mean, were you going like on spring break or something?
Yeah.
My gym when I was
Going to the beach.
my gym when I was younger, they had they opened up one next door to my gym. I'm talking like college maybe,
Yeah.
or high school maybe. And with my gym membership, I got like some free
It was the 80s.
some free things, and I went in there a couple times, and you know they were kind of. It was, I guess, they're pretty regulated now, but it was
Yeah.
kind of like this bed and this thing. Like, just crank this thing up, and yeah, I looked like what's the guy, George Hamilton. After like, yeah, it was.
Putting on the bronzing agents, moisturizers.
Had my tab with a straw. It's a whole scene. That was a whole scene, man. And I never did it again. Gotta look after your skin, boys and girls.
Yeah, but back in the 80s, man, everybody
Nobody
was into
gave
the
a
Nobody
shit.
gave a shit.
You know, about anything.
All those catcher mitts that you're walking around, chances are they grew up in the 80s. It's all right.
Now I think you just go into a thing, get sprayed
Pretty much.
with some kind of thing, and
some sort of noxious chemicals.
some sort of aerobicide chemical.
They spray some aerobicide on you.
This stuff's safe, right? Ah, yeah. Army Corps of Engineers.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Well, next thing we know, it's 5 years later, and we're at Rhonda's workout center, where an aerobics class is in full swing. And I mean that literally. Arms and legs are swinging all over the place. There's a great soundtrack in this film that mixes well with the 80s. When it goes horror, it goes to the 80s synth, classic synth stuff. But as far as the music goes, think Flashdance on a bargain basement production scale.
Wow.
The only thing I could ever think of is Captain Freedom's workout.
From Running Man. Sure, but I mean, this is I remind me of Flashdance because there's a lot of female-driven vocals, and it's all lyrics like,
Doesn't matter.
you know, like that song "What a Feeling."
Doesn't matter.
Lyrics about the fire inside, reaching for your dreams, all that horse shit.
All I can picture is Big Man.
It works perfectly with the girls and their unitards and leotards and what other kind of tards are gyrating to the music. This movie's got a lot of tards.
Yeah.
Just what's the difference between a unitard and a leotard? I think we've done that. We've asked that question before in the show, haven't we?
Leotard's like half.
Unitard is the whole body.
Unitard's the
Yes.
whole body, I think.
Leotard is just the top part.
I think. Sure? I don't know. Or is it the bottom part?
That's a monotard.
That's not a monotard.
It's something.
You're a monotard.
You're a bonotard.
It's a bonotard.
I don't know, but it sounded good.
Well, just watching the aerobic classes can be kind of hypnotizing. Like, did you guys get kind of just like in the zone? You did. He did. I mean, these women.
It's just like left, right, left, right.
5, 6,
Right,
7.
right,
I mean, dude, I'm sitting there watching the
right,
movie, just like
right.
it doesn't hurt that the women are all pretty good looking.
That, and I also I can't help it. I'm hearing Arnold Schwarzenegger up,
down,
up, down.
Dude, it's. You should go to iTunes, folks, and get Arnold Schwarzenegger's workout album from the 70s. It's set to disco music, and he gives you
man.
he gives you up, down. One more rep, you can do it.
One more rep, you can do it.
I believe in you. We listen to it before the show starts every night to get us in the mood. But you can see why I didn't want people watching me watch this on an airplane. There's like 4-minute stretches where it's just chicks in bikini bottoms touching their toes. And I'm pretty sure I was singing out loud. And 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh.
Oh man, it's glorious. Well, the owner Rhonda is having to lead that morning's big aerobics class because Jamie, the usual instructor, is late as usual. Not only is she late, but on the way in, she gets stopped by a real meathead named Tommy, who practically rips her top off. It's the 80s. Trying to come on to her. Then, as Rhonda wraps up the class and heads back to the manager's office, another beefcake named Jimmy tries to wrestle her out of her sweatshirt. This is before Me Too. Like, literally, chicks couldn't go to the gym without guys ripping off their clothes.
Wait, that sounds a lot like today.
Well, yeah, chicks can't go jogging now without some asshole. Well, fun fact, both Jimmy and Tommy, 30 years later, would be nominated to serve on the United States Supreme Court. How about that?
Jimmy, Tommy, their friend Squee.
Tut and Yak Boy. Jimmy likes beer. No, these guys aren't drinking beer. They're focused on their training.
They're drinking shakes.
Another fun fact, besides those two grab asses, the actress playing Rhonda. Did you recognize her, Yaks?
I thought I did, actually.
Her name is Marcia Carr, and she appeared in one of Yak Boy's favorite films, Hard Bodies.
Oh, yes.
Yaks, do you remember what role she played?
Don't remember.
She played Hard Body on the Stairs.
Oh.
That was her character's name in that particular film.
Hard Body on the Stairs.
Uh-huh. I believe number 1.
Number 1. Of course.
She's number 1 for a reason. She's beautiful.
She is.
Beautiful face.
She is.
This place is just jumping. Things are going good. Real quick, I don't want to ignore the cigar for too long. Tut?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Not a lot of transition with it, which is great. I mean, because I really enjoyed that flavor.
The chocolate and the spice. Yak Boy?
I would have to agree with that.
You do get a little bit. It does mellow when it hits that candela part of it. The chocolate presence kind of definitely the spice presence kind of sits down. But yeah, it's not straying too far away from the profile.
I was gonna say I've gotten the same thing. I kind of got, which is weird for candela, a little creaminess to it. Have you gotten that yet?
Creaminess.
But mainly it's the chocolate and spice.
Wait,
it's a very enjoyable cigar.
You are about halfway. I'm not there.
It might be a hint of butter. Not creaminess, but a little bit of butter.
Now you're just pulling our leg. There's no butter.
No,
You got a little butter?
No.
You can't believe it's butter.
I can't believe you got butter.
I can't believe. No, I didn't get no butter. Maybe I did. I don't know.
Horrible butter joke. I'm telling you, we're not funny. We should just stop with the it's just not funny. I can't believe it's not a butter note. Come on. Terrible.
Let's just go back to telling poetry.
Just terrible. I got another one. You guys ready?
No.
Suddenly,
I'm
I'm just seeing Steve Martin's blank face when he looks at you, just kind of
All right. Well, Jamie, the instructor who showed up late, so Rhonda had to.
Is she in anything? Because I swear that I thought I saw her because
Not that I
she's
know of.
cute.
No, she is cute. They're all cute. Every chicken is.
She kind of looks like that Sex and the City girl.
Kim Cattrall a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like Kim Cattrall.
Well, Jamie showed up to work just in time for her to help Rhonda close the place down, TNCC style. Hey, you're late. We're closing. help me lock up. Literally, she's in here 5 minutes. Why'd you even come?
I was like, wait a second. I thought she was late for like the class. No, she was late for the whole day.
Yeah, she showed up literally with 10 minutes until the place shut down. And then, like, when Rhonda gets on her ass, she's like, come on, Rhonda. Like, she's indignant about it. Like, seriously, you're giving me shit about this?
TNCC style.
TNCC style. But little does Jamie know, while she's locking up, that an African-American aerobicizer, I'm going to use that term a lot. Is that a term? Someone who does aerobics?
Aerobicizer?
Someone who does aerobics?
Or would it be an aerobicist?
An aerobicist. I like that. Okay. All right. A young, attractive aerobicist has just been brutally stabbed to death in the showers by a giant clothespin-wielding madman. At least it looked like a giant clothespin. You know what it looked like, Axe? Remember in sports where you had to attach like your dirty shorts and T-shirt and everything with a giant clothespin?
That's exactly.
And then you put it in the laundry? Was that what it was?
That's what it was.
Just a giant clothespin.
Okay, because at first I was trying to figure out what that was because I was like, I thought it was like one of those little drawing circle things that you had.
Oh, like with the pencil?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The one
Little
that's got the
compass?
little. Yeah, it's got the little compass. It's got that little spiky point.
Nobody's using one of those in this movie.
I'm like, no.
They find that murder weapon.
Why is somebody killing people with that? That's the most horrible murder weapon ever.
No, it's just a big clothespin.
The most horrible murder weapon ever. I'm just going to
Well,
go
it makes
ahead and
sense
say it.
because that's what you use in a locker room to put your stuff together.
I understand.
We were
Jocks.
I mean, if there was only
Athletes,
something in the gym that you could maybe bludgeon them with, a dumbbell,
don't jump the gun here.
just anything.
Well, speaking of dirty understuffs, Rhonda catches Jamie snooping through Tommy's locker and examining his enormous cage-sized jockstrap. She's sniffing it, stretching it out, just like
Ew.
that is. I don't think in the history of the world a woman's ever done that, right?
Maybe they do.
I'm gonna chalk this up to Hollywood.
I mean,
Hey, you know what? We get a good-looking girl in there. We get her in the locker room. She's gonna sniff the jock. She's gonna
If I
stretch the
ever
jock.
walked in on a girl sniffing my underwear, I'm out. I can do some weird shit, but no, I can't do this. I'm sorry. It is really weird. But she's got a date with him that night. I guess she was just seeing what she was in store for.
Okay.
yes.
But that'll have to wait. As soon as suddenly she discovers the naked dead body shoved in a locker next to it. So enter Detective Lieutenant Morgan, played by David Campbell.
Did anybody think that reveal was a little bit weird? Because she goes to like one locker and it's a fake.
She opens
arm.
up a locker and a fake arm jumps out like to scare her, and she's like. And then the next locker opens up and the body's in
dead
there.
body.
Yeah, who put that fake arm in there?
I don't know. It was never thought. It was never talked about.
And even the cop sees it later, and he doesn't think about it. Like,
yeah, it was weird.
These jokers.
and to be honest, that one of I didn't think about it either. You like till you said like, oh yeah, that was weird. Turns out I'm just as stupid as everyone in this movie.
Fake arms coming out of lockers, women smelling jock straps. What's going on here?
I was okay with everything. I could be a cop in this movie. Well, it's played Detective Morgan, Detective Lieutenant Morgan. It's played by David Campbell, who was the bad guy Hogan in Deadly Prey. Remember that, yeah, boy?
Yes.
He's hard-nosed, humorless, suspicious of everyone, and Rhonda doesn't like him hanging around her business one bit. He asks some questions about Diane Matthews, the quiet loner who has shown some signs of jealousy, according to Jamie, towards the other girls in the aerobics class. And it was her locker that the victim's body was stuffed into. Lieutenant Detective Morgan tells Rhonda and Jamie they'll be seeing a lot more of him. Thanks for the warning. And then he slinks off into the night. And 5, 6, 7, 8. The next morning, an angry Rhonda pulls Jamie away from the class. Jamie showed up on time the next day. She's in the middle of instruction. She pulls her over and she tells her, business is bad enough already. Stop showing off your tits and your tight little ass and just do your job. How can anyone possibly do this job without showing off your tits and ass?
I mean,
The whole job is shoving your titties and your ass up in the air.
just trying to figure out, well, wait a
I
second.
think it's the job is to get a killer workout.
But yet, I was like, if she's obviously instructing the class and everybody else in the class is dressed exactly the same way.
Exactly.
Well, I think it was just to show Rhonda's got some anger issues and she's on edge. You know, girl was just killed in her gym.
in a gym, she's got the cops snooping around.
I just thought it was hilarious. Like, okay, put on this potato sack. Well, then the pissed off Rhonda storms into her office where she finds a blonde, buff, hard body Chuck Dawson rummaging through her file cabinets.
Okay, that's
Good
kind of a
old
good
Chuck.
name. That's kind of a good name.
That's not a euphemism, by the way, ruffling through her file cabinets. If I were going to make tasteless, tacky sex euphemisms tonight, they'd be things like he racked her dumbbells, or she used Chuck Dawson's face as a squat rack. But I'm not going there tonight, so we're not going there.
I don't know if there's enough beer to get rid of those.
And 5, 6, 7, 8. Turns out Chuck was just hired by one of the other partners in the gym Mr. Erickson, to help out during this chaotic time with the murder and all. And you know what? There's nothing Rhonda can do about it. Chuck Dawson's here to stay.
Chuck Dawson.
What a great name.
It's an awesome
Rhonda tells Chuck Dawson he can start his shift by cleaning the toilets. Sounds easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually far from fucking easy, because as Chuck is taking the trash outside of the dumpster, he's almost run over by Musclehead Jimmy's muscle car. Jimmy jumps out, pokes Chuck in the chest, tells him to stay the hell away from Rhonda.
I don't understand any of this.
They get
scene.
nose to nose, and a kick-ass fight breaks out.
No, it wasn't.
There's karate chops.
It was
They
horrible.
punch each other like 20 times in the face.
They
It
were
is
so
awesome.
slow.
Finally, Chuck slams Jimmy against the wall, and he warns him, next time I'll finish this.
No, you won't.
A very busty aerobicizer?
Aerobicist?
Named Debbie has been sitting there watching it all the action go down, and once Chuck's the victor, she promptly tells Chuck Dawson to jump in her convertible, and they take off. He just got to work. He literally just showed up, took the trash out, and he's zipping away with Debbie.
I kind
Want
of
to take a ride with me? Sounds like best offer I've had all day. I'm like,
right.
well, wait a second. Does anyone actually stay? Do they show up on time? Do they leave on time?
I understand that working at this place might be detrimental to my health, but I kind of want to work there. You could just pretty much take off whenever you want to.
It's basically the Tuesday Night Cigar Club with a couple weights laying around. But you guys couldn't even wear tank tops tonight.
No.
I told you before, it's freezing.
I should mention, I can't believe I didn't make a note of it. Chuck Dawson is played by the director's brother, Ted
Of
Pryor,
course he is.
who is the star of Deadly Prey.
Yes.
If nothing else, just go to YouTube and watch the trailer from... I kept wanting after every fight scene him just to look up in the sky. Ah! That's his signature move in Deadly Prey. Every time he kills somebody, he just looks up to the heavens and... Ah!
He looks off. He's so intense. Breathing in, breathing out.
I thought he was really great as Chuck Dawson.
He was definitely there.
He was there. He was there.
He was tank top tastic.
He was definitely there. He did have a
He
tank
was
top.
tank top tastic.
Yeah. Gym shorts.
In fact, I think he only owned tank tops. I mean, there was no such thing as sleeves for this guy.
No, never. Well, he goes back to Debbie's place, and she serves him up a cold Diet Pepsi out in the backyard. But Chuck wants her to serve up some information about Jimmy, that guy he just got into a giant fist fight with in the alley. Debbie tells him the guy's a real weirdo. She made the mistake of going out with him once, and he was really into tying chicks up and other deviant shit. But don't get me wrong, she says, I'm not against going kinky in the bedroom, but this guy is a real nut job. Wink, wink, Chuck. I'm into doing whatever you want. She's just clearly coming on to him the whole time.
I mean, clearly, I just saw you and he get into a fight, and I have invited you back to my place.
I don't even know your name. She then takes it a step further. She goes inside and changes into a bikini from her unitard.
Which was pretty much revealing as it was.
She comes back out in the bikini, and he says he's got to go. He's got things to do. And he especially says he wants to pay Jimmy a visit later. But then she grabs his hands and basically puts him on her ass. And even Chucky Boy gets the hint. They start making out. Todd, I see you inquisitively looking at your cigar.
Oh, I'm trying to gauge my construction rating. Because it's one thing. I mean, it's one thing to have a construction on, a non-barber pole, but I think the barber pole you have to put some points on there.
Yeah, you do.
Because
I'm
that's
only
really
relied
tough.
quite a bit because I'm just talking all.
We've had a lot of barber poles that have, shattered, stripped, frayed, whatever you want to call it. This one's holding in tight, and I think it's a pretty nice complex. It's a box. I don't know if a box press or a regular round one's harder. I don't know which one's more difficult to.
You say
do.
complex. Have you gotten more flavors?
No. I'm talking about the complexity in the construction.
Oh yeah,
not,
yeah. I mean, it's just a tricky.
No,
thing
I
to
really
do.
haven't.
And you're basically making two completely separate wrappers from two completely different origins look and feel like one wrapper. I mean, it's
and they've done a good job. A lot of times you'll get that candela parts. It kind of separated itself eventually from the whatever it's paired with.
Uh-huh.
This isn't doing that.
No, I'm still getting strong. The strength has picked up for me a little bit around the halfway point, but basically still the pepper in the nose, the chocolate on the draw. I am getting a little bit of earthiness around the halfway point that wasn't there earlier.
Yeah.
So chocolate, earthiness, and spice, and a little bump up in strength.
Yeah, it's not, and that's what's bad. It's I always struggle with when there's a flavor that is not terribly complex, but I like the flavor. How am I supposed to rate the complexity on that?
Well, it's not complex. It's consistent.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Every cigar is its own little creature. Kind of like Debbie and Chuck and Jimmy and Tommy and Scooter and Ski and all those unique characters in our lives.
Chuck Dawson.
Same with you, Yaps?
Yes.
Everything we said, pretty much some...
I mean, it's getting towards the middle. The spice is really picking up. A little bit more pepper on the retro hell.
Definitely, and I like it. I think that was neat. I like it. Our last cigar, the what was it? The Cinco de Cadas had a real jump up in strength that last third, which I was like, man, I wasn't expecting. It was nice.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I needed that.
Yeah,
I'm liking it. Well, I just mentioned Jimmy. Remember, Chuck was about to go kick his ass or pay him a visit. Well, back at Rhonda's workout, yet another aerobics class is in session. And 5, 6, 7, 8. And Jimmy is just standing there staring, leering at them over the wall, just
creepy guy.
It's kind of like when Tut got kicked out of that poker room for watching the high-dollar poker thing.
I don't think it was because I was creepy, but I can see where it might be.
I'm just saying, if they asked you to leave that, you would think an employee would be like, Jimmy,
you're scaring people?
You're scaring everybody? Or maybe, Jimmy, there's a murder on the loose and you're really like...
You're kind of acting like
you're
one?
You're putting a giant suspect on your... tattoo on your forehead.
By the way, Vegas, I was not trying to read the... Well,
of course,
yeah, I was.
Of course not.
I totally was.
Well, again, nobody steps in to tell Jimmy to quit staring at all the girls' asses. It was the 80s, I suppose. After the class is over, an awkward Diane, remember the girl whose locker the body was found in, who Jamie said had some personality issues, she goes up to Jimmy and asks him if he has plans for the night, but he totally blows her off. He's like, not really. What are you doing? And she's like, I don't have any plans either. And he's like, well, that sucks. And he walks off, or like, sucks to be you. And she just kind of cries. Look at Jimmy, man. And you know what? For getting punched 20 times in the face by Chuck earlier that day,
looks fine.
He looks fine. We follow Diane as she walks home in the dark, or more accurately, we ride along with Lieutenant Detective Morgan in his battered old piece of shit cop car as he follows her home. It's a total Hunter car.
It is.
It is.
Remember how he always was getting new, beat up? Like every car he got was worse and worse. Dude's totally a Hunter car. Why isn't Fred Dryer still putting movies and TV?
Because Hunter was awesome and it can never be redone again.
I would like to put Fred Dryer in a movie. Loved Hunter.
Is he still alive?
Oh yeah, he was a big Playboy Mansion guy. He lived there with James Caan. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. When they arrive at Diane arrives, followed by Morgan, to her house, Morgan radios into headquarters and tells them if they don't have the forensics completed on the possible murder weapon he found at the scene, which was Diane's knitting needle she takes to the aerobics classes for some reason. If you don't have the forensics done in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to come down there and perform an autopsy on your face. The dispatcher repeatedly asks Morgan where he is. It's none of your fucking business. So Morgan is either up to something here, a possible suspect. Yeah. He doesn't want him to know where he is, or he's just a giant asshole. My bet is on the latter. I think he's just an asshole. And here's why. He's about to prove me right. After Diane calls her answering service, remember the 80s? Do I have any messages for Diane? Whatever. No messages. Are you sure? You don't have any messages. Okay. Another night at home with the cats. As soon as she does that, Detective Morgan just starts banging on her front door like a madman. Open up! Open up, damn it! Let me in! He doesn't identify himself as a cop. He doesn't say why he just starts pounding on her front door like a crazy person. Of course, she's terrified, shitless. She doesn't know who he is. She backs away from the door in fear. And just knock like a normal person. He didn't have a warrant or anything. What the hell's he doing?
Hi, I know it's late at night. Here it is.
Let me in! It's crazy. Well, as she backs away in fear from the cop at her door, the killer emerges from inside her apartment. Starts stabbing her to death with a giant laundry clothespin again. Just then Morgan kicks down the door. Again, he has no warrant, and he doesn't even know anything bad's happening in there. But she didn't answer the door, so he just kicks it in.
Probable cause.
So whatever he finds would have been inadmissible because he just broke into her damn house. A little legalese here. Legalize-a-sizer? You guys can call me that?
No. You won't.
But as soon as he gets in, the killer jumps headfirst through a 2-story window, does a front roll, and runs off into the night before they can be caught. When Morgan gets back to his car, headquarters radios him that Diane's knitting needle was indeed not the murder weapon. No shit, he mumbles. What an asshole. Am I right, Yax?
Yes.
He's an asshole.
You are correct.
He is an asshole. How's the beer? You need another one?
It's empty.
So you're liking it? You're liking the beer?
I am.
Tide's growing on you any?
Well, yeah, the more you drink, the more
You
it
only had
grows
2,
on
though.
you.
We're not quite to that point where every beer tastes better.
I really appreciate what they're doing, and I know the craft that goes into
I
this.
actually do, because I don't like porters traditionally. I don't like the nutty kind of...
But it's not mine.
They're like a stout's boring cousin.
Stouts are porters.
Yeah.
Let's just continue.
Time for another poem. No. But we all agree Lieutenant Detective Morgan's an asshole.
Yes.
Okay.
A huge, giant.
You know who aren't
Inflamed
assholes,
asshole.
boys?
Who's aren't assholes?
Our friends at Drew Estate. They make a unique cigar line called Acid. Ever heard of them?
I have.
I have heard of this unique cigar line.
All the Acid cigars are carefully handcrafted using some of the world's finest tobacco with more than 140 herbs, botanicals, and other essential oils to get their unique aroma and flavor. Experiencing Acid cigars is the only way to truly understand them. I'll agree with that. Similar to all Drew Estate cigars, their construction is flawless, and since they are rolled in Sumatra, Maduro, Connecticut, and African wrappers, you know you're going to get some good flavors. So head on out to your favorite cigar retailer now, grab a handful of Acid cigars, and let us know what you think.
All right.
Curious what you think. Let us know. Let us know what you think after you try an Acid.
What's your favorite acid?
Cuba. No. I take that back. The Acid 1.
The acid
It is
one.
infused in 4 different types of red wine,
Yeah.
and maybe a sangria as well.
I'm not sure if I've ever had that one.
That is by far my favorite Acid. What about you?
I was going to say the Cuba, but and I can't say it's my favorite because I only had one, and I want to have another one again. But what was that one that we got at Cigar IPCPR? It was green.
The Candela?
Yeah,
I think it's called the Acid Green. Maybe the Acid Green or the Acid...
I really kind of like that one.
It was
like
ni- it was
like
nice.
this flavor explosion that it just wasn't as non-traditional. Fabian would say it's a non-traditional cigar.
Well, Tut may have been one of the 140 essential oils and botanicals.
That is true.
If only I could figure out where all those flavors were coming from.
But no, it was a really, really interesting cigar.
Yeah, check out. I believe it was the Acid Green.
Okay.
I believe is what it's called.
I'll do that, and I'll also keep my eye out for the one because I've heard you talk about it before. And I kind of want to.
It is really enjoyable. I highly enjoy it. So yeah, try out Acids. You also rub a mixture of botanicals and at least 20 to 30 essential oils all over your body before each episode, don't you, boy?
Yes, I do.
God, you smell wonderful.
Thanks. I
And
try.
your skin is just flawless. Where were we? Oh, that asshole just basically caused that woman to die.
I mean,
If he had just knocked on the door and said police and showed his badge, she'd be alive.
Pretty much, yes. Yes.
Well, across town at the gym, we see a set of hands furiously washing the blood off that giant clothespin, and we see whoever it is set a dark wig down on the kitchen or on the bathroom countertop. As Rhonda goes around the dark building, picking up dozens of dirty towels from all over the floor, a bunch of slobs. Oh, good bench press. Just throw this on the floor. TNCC stuff. They blow my nose.
Actually, that's not TNCC style.
No, we're gentlemen on this.
I was about to say, I could see you, I could see you just walking into a gym going, "That's disgusting."
Oh yeah, no, we know how to act. We make jokes, but I actually wrote a poem.
Oh God,
We have a minute.
no. Double feature. Keep going.
All of a sudden, Jimmy pops out of the shadows and surprises her. Hey, baby, what do you got going on tonight? She calls him an asshole and storms off as the camera pushes right up into Jimmy's leering face for like the 10th time.
I know.
We're not even 30 minutes into this thing. I'm thinking David Pryor, the director, wants us to think Jimmy's the bad guy.
You think?
That's what I got from those cameras.
No.
I've made some movies, Ted. I kind of know the pictures. That's why I'm here.
I know the talkies.
I just want a subtle hint. I need you to look angry.
Good enough. Good enough.
Cinematographer, can you get any closer? I'm literally on his nose and eyes. Keep going. I'm sorry, did you make Future Zone with David Carradine? Because I did, you son of a bitch. Now zoom in.
Sorry, I just wiped snot off the lens.
Just throw your towel over there. Rhonda will pick it up. After Jimmy and Rhonda split apart, a group of 3 random 20-somethings led by Debbie and her bodacious tatas, the chick who took Chuck Dawson back to her place, her and this other chick and a dude sneak up outside the workout center with some cans of spray paint, and on the window front they spray paint aerobicide.
Aerobicide.
Debbie did not think that up.
There it is.
There's nothing going on upstairs, man. Someone else came up with that one. And then they also spray paint Death Spa.
Death Spa.
Which is the name of our second movie, which came out 2 years later. Interesting. A good podcaster would have seen if there's any connection that came from this to that.
There's
and
not. I can't.
If you guys can find that guy, I want to get him here.
I didn't bother because I knew that there wouldn't be.
No, I think whoever made Death Spa was watching this like, oh, Death Spa, that's a good name.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
No.
It's
What
pretty,
can I call
it's a
my
pretty
movie?
unique name to come up with when it was in another killer workout movie.
I'm thinking Death
probably sitting there
Spa
with
is
this
probably
script all
like,
like, I'm going to sell. What do you mean somebody already used Killer Workout? I'm going to go watch Killer Workout and see if it's better than my Killer Workout.
wait, Death Spa?
Death Spa.
Yeah.
Aerobicide. That reminds me I need to spray for bugs tomorrow. Well,
We
they
need
go-
to kill all them aerobes.
Well, these 20-somethings are sneaking out, spray painting. She's a member of the gym. What's she doing?
Who knows?
Well, these idiots then decide to split up on their way back to the car.
Okay, see you tomorrow at the gym. Okay.
No, they rode in the same car. They scatter off. They're like, we'll meet back at the car. But there's like no reason to scatter off. There's nobody around.
They could have literally just pulled right up to the front, gotten out, spray painted, got back in the car because there's nobody around.
Well, the killer easily, for whatever reason they split up, the killer easily finds them all and stabs them to death one by one. Debbie's the last to go. She makes it to her convertible, but before she can drive off, the killer gets up. It's got the cloth roof on. Gets up there and starts stabbing through the roof, the cloth roof, over and over again. Debbie's
So for like 15 minutes, it
ducking
seems.
around. It's like, Debbie, lay down. Or Debbie, open the door and run.
Oh, God.
He'll get tired before I do. I aerobicize all day. She literally just, for 15 minutes, just...
Well, also at
it
this
was
point,
like
how could the killer why do I keep missing this? I should look through the window so I can see where she is. Because I mean, it's literally a cloth convertible.
First
top.
of all, that one bar that holds up the cloth, good on you because that's holding up the killer. And it was the longest filmed stabbing through the roof scene I
all
think
she
I've
had to do
ever
was lay
seen.
down. All she had to do was lay down. Or just open the door and run.
I mean, what's the killer gonna do? Why haven't I killed? Oh, she laid down on me.
I didn't account for the laying down. Well, now I got to come up with something else. Gets underneath the car, so it's trying to get up through it. It was a very bizarre kill scene, but eventually the knife sinks into her hollow head.
It does.
That's why she didn't lay down or run. She was stupid. Damn it, Debbie. The next morning, as the coroner's team is busy filling up 3 more body bags outside the gym, the aerobics class must go on. Literally, chicks are walking in, stepping over the dead bodies, and just
5,
6, 7, 8.
Up, down, up.
I don't know what business would suffer one murder and people still be like, oh no, I got to get to my 7:30.
Is the class still going on today? Yep, just as soon as they get the bodies out, we're just give us 10 minutes.
So
Okay, sure.
let me see now. We've got a second. We've got 3 people outside, and people
Chuck
are
Dawson's just mopping up blood in the corner. Well, ladies, and unfortunately a few dudes in half shirts, are moving to the music without a care in the world, as dead people are literally getting dragged out in body bags in front of them. I love these aerobic scenes. I could literally watch these scenes over and over and over.
I mean, if they had just like maybe
I literally did watch these aerobic scenes over.
they could have at
over
least done
and over
like the
again.
whole little scene that they did from Running Man, where it's like after the stalkers get killed and they're doing all the slow dance.
They do a slow aerobics class. Debbie.
Jim.
Yeah. Diane. Her death was not in vain. And 5, 6, 7. Touch your toes, ladies. The memorial will be held at South Crest Funeral Home. And 5, 6, 7.
Send your
8.
charitable donations.
And 3, 2, breathe out. Yes, Yax, that would have been a nice touch. The outfits, the
Or
music.
if maybe any of them were, just express some sort of like emotion, like, I don't know, shock.
Or
Oh,
like-
wow.
Or like, man, I'm really scared. No.
Wait, what? He's killed 4 aerobicists? All right.
All right.
5, 6,
7,
7.
8.
This sucks. If this wasn't the only gym in town.
I'm glad that the girls still showed up, because stuff is bouncing all over the place. It was glorious. If you're into that kind of thing, I think aerobics are due for a comeback. Fuck yoga. This looks like hard. I mean, they're lifting their legs. It's like they're up in the air. It was the whole thing. Why did the aerobics go away?
I don't think they did.
Did they just call it Zumba now?
Probably.
We need to bring aerobics back. Vinyl records, VHS, all that other stupid shit in the 80s is coming back. Why don't they have aerobics classes? You go to one of these hipster breweries and do a Saturday morning aerobics class where you just put on leg warmers and wear 80s clothes.
They do. It's beer and yoga.
Beer and yoga. Fuck yoga. Aerobics, baby. We're bringing it back. TNCC is bringing aerobics back.
Who's
Beer
going
aerobics.
to instruct it?
All right, fine. I'll do it.
I was going to say, maybe we get someone named Debbie.
I'm not the aerobic instructor this needs. I'm probably the one it deserves.
That ain't no lie.
Let's make aerobics great again. Let's make aerobics great again, huh? Yeah, boy. As I get to the beer, what is the purpose exactly of leg warmers?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, right?
What do they do?
They look good.
Obviously, keep your legs warm.
But they're in L.A. It's summertime, and they're exercise.
Hey, it can get chilly in
They
LA.
look good. They're a fashion statement. I like your leg warmers.
I really hope on YouTube people can see with the. I beg Tut, pick something else. Like no.
No, you did not. You specifically said coming into this thing. And that was like, no, I can't find that shot. And then all of a sudden, I found that shot.
I just can't believe that they would let dudes in these classes.
Why
Guys-
wouldn't they?
guys
Why
do
wouldn't
aerobics.
Be like, Steve, you can get up from touching your toes now. Just give me a minute. You guys leave. I'll give me a couple minutes. I'll be out of here. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Just gotta stretch some more over here.
I just gotta keep
Where's that towel?
keep stretching my hamstrings in the corner for just a little bit.
Jesus, there was towels everywhere. Now I can't find one.
Now we know why there's so many towels on the floor.
Jimmy, Meanwhile, in the weight room, some doofus is doing lat pull downs. Tut, I'll explain to Tut. It's a cable system that has a big bar like this. You load up on weights and you pull it down behind your neck, across your shoulders. It exercises your upper back and your shoulder region. Gives you a nice spread of the muscles.
You mean like a pull-up?
Yes, similar to a pull-up.
Why don't you just put a pull-up bar across the door?
Well, this is Rhonda's workout center. You got to offer the kids something they can't do at home.
Okay.
But as he's doing that, a cable comes loose, and the bar flies down and smacks him right in the nose. He falls down stunned and bloody to the ground, and before his eyes can focus, the killer comes in and smacks him right in the skull with a dumbbell. Tut, a dumbbell is a handheld weight.
I know what a dumbbell is.
Okay, sorry. Well, we established earlier, Yax and I were in athletics, and I'm just trying to keep everybody up to speed. The guy's buddies.
I'm sorry, I was busy working out my delts with a sousaphone. It's a musical instrument. You wrap it around. It's kind of like most lay people call it tuba.
Oh, why'd you look confused? You played the tuba in band.
Yeah. I was.
That was hilarious. Look at the accent. I don't know. Played tuba for 4 years in high school. We were also drinking a lot back then. It was a different time. It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s. Well, his buddy
All of a
walks.
sudden, why do I remember Jimmy in the background?
Watching you play tuba? This is getting weird. Well, the guy's buddy walks into the weight room, sees him knocked out with that dumbbell, and he races over to help, and all of a sudden the killer stabs him right in the forehead with the clothespin. 2 more dead bodies.
Ding,
What
ding.
you can't figure out is all these other deaths with the clothespin. I mean, he's just literally stabbing them and stabbing them and stabbing them. This one
one
dude, he
just-
finally figures it out. If I just hit him in the head once.
Right there.
Between the eyes.
Oh, man.
Killer's learning.
Yeah,
The killer's
she's
learning.
It's learning. You know. Hey, we didn't know what we were doing the first time out. It takes a couple episodes to get in the groove of things. Still figuring it out, some might say. But then, so there's 2 dead bodies. And then remember Tommy, the guy who came on to Jamie in the opening scene where he's trying to get under his shirt?
Yes.
What's this zipper lead down to? He's trying to unzip her blouse. He runs in. People keep running in. So he runs into the room and runs over to them. Oh, my God. And all of a sudden, Chuck Dawson comes in and he runs in, sees Tommy over the bodies, leaps over a railing, and just punches Tommy like 50 times in the face.
Tommy might not have done that.
No, we saw Tommy. I mean, Tommy was acting like he didn't. He was acting very startled by it all.
Yeah.
But Chuck, he's like, I swear I didn't do it.
Fuck you, I'm Chuck Dawson.
Chuck Dawson just destroys his nose.
Chuck Dawson does nothing but beat ass all day.
It's true. I take out the trash, and I take out the trash.
Gotta pick up a lot of towels.
And I pick up an inordinate amount of towels for some reason. Well, no, with just a few well-placed things, he knocks Tommy
Just waiting
out.
for him to stand up, like rubbing his knuckles with a towel. Just
Drops it.
Just drops it on his face.
Some asshole picked this up. Oh, wait, I'm that asshole. Damn it. Damn it, Chuck. Talks to himself. Well, I guess it's the good thing the coroner's team is still there with those 3 other bodies, because now they got 2 more bodies.
How could they not be? They're literally in the other room.
They'll have to come back. I mean, it's something.
Yeah, dispatch. We're going to be here another 2 or 3 hours.
Detective Morgan, rather than lock the place up because clearly the killer is here, Detective Morgan tells Chuck, it's a little suspicious you showed up right in the middle of all these murders. Chuck's line, yeah, I guess it is.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't have a response to that.
Did y'all find him suspicious? You think Chuck was doing it at this point?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't either. Chuck seemed like a good dude.
He seemed more confused about everything else. Like,
Yeah. I didn't know what he was doing, but I didn't think he was
so
killing
what were
anybody.
you doing? Well, I was taking out the trash when I came back in.
You were gone for 3 hours. Well, I went to Debbie's house. And, yeah. Well, we soon learned that there's no way Tommy did it, to answer your point, Tut, because they have him sequestered in the men's locker room where he's recovering from the Chuck Dawson beatdown. He has a dream in his unconscious state where Jamie comes in and takes off her top and starts riding him on the bench in the locker room. And as they're having sex, he sees another version of himself, like a twin, come up behind her and slit her throat. And then he starts fighting with his twin.
I thought that was so weird.
It's so weird and confusing. And right before something's about to happen, Detective Morgan slaps him awake.
I think there was supposed to be something else going on here at this point.
There had to be, because it made no sense. It made no sense, and it was never addressed at any other point. Well, here, it's not about. Give me one more minute. It's not going to matter. Morgan slaps him awake. He tells him, I'm gonna have some questions for you in a bit.
I got some questions for myself.
Once your head's cleared up. Yeah, no shit. Like, yeah, give me a minute. So sit tight here and don't do anything stupid, as there's a police officer standing right outside the room. Don't do anything stupid, Tommy. To which Tommy says, that's the only way I know how to do stuff. No, he doesn't really say that. Tommy...
I kind of wish he would have.
Yeah, it would be funny, right? But he does die a second later. As soon as Morgan leaves the room, and he leaves that idiot Peterson cop outside the front door. If Officer Peterson is left to guard you, you're dead. All he's concerned about is his coffee. A few seconds later, the killer drives the clothespin directly through Tommy's head.
Of course.
He learned, though. It's one shot right to the head. But again, they don't lock down the fitness center.
My God, Peterson, what happened?
So if the coroners were still taking those next two bodies out, hey, go get them. Don't let them leave. And run out in the parking lot. We got one more.
Peterson, go get him.
Why don't you fucking do something about this? Like, I've never heard of it. There's police here. Everyone's here. People keep dying. It'll be fine.
We need to lock this place down. But I got a 5:30 class coming in.
Get this. All
right.
Get this. As the coroners drag out the three new bodies, another aerobics class starts up. These ladies don't give a shit. Now that's beast mode.
It's beast mode.
That is fucking beast mode.
That is beast mode.
Ladies today, you could learn something from these 80s aerobicists.
Aerobicist.
Detective Morgan stops by Rhonda's office just as she's opening her mail with she's opening up with a humongous letter opener, like super sharp. It's like a Rambo knife.
It's a machete.
It's a Rambo knife.
It's like a Rambo.
That thing looks pretty sharp.
There should be a compass on the end of it where she unscrews it and there's some matches in there.
No, that's where her stamps are. That thing looks pretty sharp, Morgan observes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you and it have nothing in common. That's a nice burn. She got it.
Keep going, Rhonda.
Rhonda berates Morgan for not doing his job while half her clientele's murdered and the other half considers canceling their membership. Considers? I think they would cancel, but they can't get to the customer service desk because all the bodies in the way.
Dead bodies, all the body bags.
Just go, if you can climb over Debbie's corpse.
Can't get past this inordinate pile of towels.
I got plenty of suspects, Morgan tells her, just no motives yet. It's all about the motives with this guy. It's got to have a motive.
That is true.
And he assures her, I'm leaving Officer Peterson to watch over things. Oh, that same dipshit that was watching over Tommy in the locker room?
Oh, yeah. We're going to be good here.
Jimmy approaches Rhonda, tells her he can help her with all the trouble that's been going on. Again, everything he says is creepy and right in her face. But when she shoots him down yet again, he retreats to the pitch dark weight room where he bench presses his frustrations away. I don't know. Maybe with all these murders going on, you keep the lights on while people are exiting. The place is pitch dark.
Or you go somewhere else.
Or maybe you go to Gold's Gym. Pay a little bit more. At least they keep the lights on.
There must be another gym.
Well, while he's bench pressing, he's doing like 1,000 reps. The guy's just going. He's fast and he's grunting. Tut, a bench press is where you lay flat.
I know what a bench press is.
Chuck Dawson breaks into Jimmy's apartment, where he finds a small arsenal of weapons, lots of knives and handguns, and a bunch of black and white photographs of Rhonda hanging on the wall.
That makes
and
sense.
Also, just to note, he doesn't own anything but tank tops. I'm going to sneak in.
Oh, but he wears that hat.
I need a disguise.
I'll put on this hat on my... Did you see anybody lurking around here? Well, it's a real muscle-bound dude. Can you tell us about his face? No, he had a hat on.
It could have been anyone. Anyone who wears a tank top.
But also, mixed in on a couple black and white photos, he's put a black and white headshot of himself next to her, like they're a couple. That's creepy.
What I love more than anything also is as he breaks into this apartment, looks around. Oh, hey, a gun. He just takes it. He literally takes it. It's not like he takes the gun. He puts it in his pants like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't you think Crazy Jimmy's going to come back and go, you know what? Out of my entire arsenal, where's my favorite revolver?
Or he gets pulled over by the cops and they're like, sir, give me the revolver in your pant, and it's a murder weapon and like 15 body bag murders.
I think you guys might be right. Chuck Dawson might not be the Menza super sleuth that we thought he was. It's Chuck Dawson.
Yeah, but
He sees a shiny object,
Chuck
he
Dawson.
takes it.
I mean, Chuck Dawson.
I need
cool.
this guy, so I'm going to take off my wind shorts and put on a pair of jeans.
Doesn't matter. He's got the
What about
greatest.
that tank top?
He's got one of the greatest names in the world.
Chuck Dawson doesn't
Chuck
wear
Dawson.
anything. Chuck Dawson doesn't do sleeves.
My forefathers fought for the right to abolish slavery,
Slavery.
so I never have to wear sleeves. Well, all signs now are pointing to Jimmy with these photographs, right?
It is.
And all those knives
It is
displayed
just
on his
readily apparent.
nightstand. Everything's looking like Jimmy. Although Chuck could still be, and Detective Morgan's a weirdo too. The only one I'm pretty sure at this point's in the clear is that Officer Peterson. I think he might
Officer Peterson is still standing guard.
Kind of wish there would have been some throwing stars.
on the with the knives and the guns. It was the 80s. There should have been some shuriken stars and
Or at least, at least one nunchuck.
How are we doing with the cigar yaks?
It has not really profile really hasn't
Did
changed.
you get the strength pickup that we talked about?
Just a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't, like I said, it hasn't really changed much. I mean, I noticed a little bit in terms of strength, the pepper, not much.
I actually
there.
think that pepper in the nose is coming from the Candela. I think the chocolate and the earth is. I think my guess, we're going to experience chocolate, earth, and not nearly as much spice on the Maduro version. I think that this for some reason I think that sharpness on the nose is coming from the Candela.
Could be.
Maybe.
It's a good cigar.
I kind of think it might be actually coming from the Honduran.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I will give it good points across the board on construction. I like Bosk.
I'll tell you right now,
like box press
I'm rating
cigars.
this. I'm rating it pretty damn high.
Yeah,
I really am.
construction or across the boards.
Across the board, I really like this cigar, and the fact that it was a barber pole held together provided me with a great taste the entire way through. I have to give that credit.
It's true. If you like, chocolate earth, which who doesn't? But I mean, really, it's a really nice chocolate. It's a very defined. I mean, very rarely do we agree on a flavor that quick into a cigar.
Yeah.
But we almost said chocolate at the exact same time. We've all had the same experience. Different palates aside, we all got the same nice pepper on the nose. We all got the same strength. We all got chocolate and earth. I really like it too, and I think just from a unique aesthetic, it gets points from that for me. It's just a really cool looking barber pole.
Yeah. And I don't know. There's not a lot that I can complain about with this cigar.
Well, let's.
And you know me, I love to complain about
Oh
shit.
my God, you do. Let's talk about price point. Maybe that'll give you something to complain about. I should mention, this is a store exclusive. The barber pole is made for
The cigar store.
a store located in the Carolinas called the Cigar Shop. It is an exclusive
Cigar Shop,
release for their string of shops at the Cigar Shop. Yak Boy.
Is it exclusive?
I just say that because that's what it is. I'm not saying that affects price or whatnot, but
I don't know.
I'm not saying limited like the Cinco Decados or whatever. I mean, I think it's a regular production run. He keeps them out to the shop. It's not, but you gotta either go there or I think they ship. You can probably call them, get them to ship you some.
I don't know. Is it exclusive? I'm probably gonna say about 9.
Okay.
I'll go 11.50.
$11.50 from Mr. Tut. $9 from Yak Boy. I'm gonna go $8.99.
$8.99.
Oh, I was close. $8.97.
97.
Dude, I mean, come on.
$8.97.
I bumped it up because of the barber pole construction. I know that's a little bit tougher to
Make
to pop out.
sure.
I also am pretty familiar with the price point on the Corojo because I smoked the 2012 Corojo quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, $8.99 off of this cigar is pretty fabulous.
Yeah, I agree. I think anything under 10 is. I'm with actually Tut. I know the price. I probably would have guessed 11, 12. Just because, it's a based off the 2012s, which I know what they usually go for, but it does take extra time and skill to roll a good barber pole, and to be that in line and under $10, not too shabby.
Man,
see, he can't complain.
He's going to, though.
Yeah, look at him.
no, I'm not. I'm like,
All right.
I'm trying to think back to. No, never mind.
I'm just gonna
No,
throw in the
you
towel.
don't compare. You base this thing on what's in your hand.
I know, but that's what's shocking me. I'm like, this is a standout. It
There you
really is
go.
a standout.
I like it. We tend to like Oscar stuff, so I'm not terribly shocked. Good stuff. I am 3 thumbs up, and the beer 2 thumbs up.
Yes.
Man, I'm digging it. I feel like it's a little bit drying out my throat a little bit. I don't know if that's the cocoa nibs or whatever the hell the.
Cocoa nibs.
It's coconutty.
Yeah, but it's not too much for me, and I think it went really good with the cigar.
Yes.
You couldn't have asked for a better pairing, actually.
It's like a Mounds or Almond Joy or Mounds. I mean, chocolate, coconut. The beer, Death by Coconut. Yeah, X, did you do any research? Has anyone ever actually died via coconuts?
I believe they have.
I bet you they have.
Like falling out of a tree and hit you on the head?
Yes.
Didn't Keith Richards
No, he's
fall out
still
of a
alive.
coconut tree once? And isn't that like the thing that almost killed Keith Richards out of everything? Didn't he like fall out of a coconut tree once?
I don't know.
Or get hit in the head with a coconut?
I don't know.
It's possible.
Like that's what did him in? I've smoked every strain of heroin known to man. This is how I go out. Yax, did you do this research? When you get hit in the head with a coconut, does it actually make that sound?
I think it does.
Awesome. I mentioned earlier about there are a couple dudes in the aerobics class with the half shirts on. Can you imagine getting that call from your agent if you're just a low-level LA actor? Hey, can I book you for 2 weeks? They're shooting a movie called Aerobicide. We need you to be the one dude in the aerobics class, and you just need to basically just stare at the other chicks for 8 hours a day. All right.
I guess I can.
Is this credited?
That guy, Daniel Day-Lewis.
You gotta start somewhere.
I don't think that he started there. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know.
Do a little something called squat thrusts. We don't need that. You have no lines. Deep knee bends, my good man. No, dude, just stop talking. Ron, okay.
You know what, Daniel? You're fired. You're fired.
Good day to you.
I say good day.
I shall talk like this the remainder of the day. Well, guess what? Later that night, Chuck stakes out Rhonda's house now that he's seen what Jimmy's up to. And as she takes a swim in her pool at her house under the moonlight, sure enough, like clockwork, Jimmy shows up in the bushes. He's in one set of bushes, and Jimmy emerges from the other set of bushes. He sees Jimmy and immediately runs over there, and they start fighting.
Chuck Dawson.
Chuck Dawson. Dude, only this fight is like the first fight amped up to 11. Dude, not only are they punching each other a million times in the face, they start kicking each other.
Oh, God.
They start where you grab the guy's head and just kick him repeatedly in the
stop
gut.
it.
Then Chuck grabs a trash can.
It's horrible.
And goes to smash it over Jimmy's head, and Jimmy grabs a rake and pokes him in the belly with it. So then they have like a fight with his rake, till eventually Chuck Dawson gets the hold of the rake and slams it into Jimmy's leg, and it goes into his leg, like blood starts squirting out. Doesn't stop Jimmy. He runs over there, karate kicks Chuck Dawson into the swimming pool and runs off. It's a fun fight, man. Dude, that's what when I was watching
really
on the airplane,
is,
I was laughing my fucking nuts off.
The only thing I can say is, though, Chuck Dawson still doesn't have a T-shirt. He's still in a tank top.
It looked like a chilly evening, too. No, he has a sleeveless sweater he puts on over the tank top.
I'm just like, where? In God's name. It's like,
Yeah.
I just got hired at this place. I had never even got my first paycheck. I really need it because I got to buy some clothes.
You think he went
all
to
I have is a tank top.
You think he went to the job interview in a tank top?
I think he did.
Absolutely.
Or a sleeveless dress shirt and a tie? But with cuffs? Like dress cuffs on, but just no sleeves?
I was just like, I mean, seriously, is that
Yeah, it was
wardrobe? We need some clothes for Chuck Dawson. We spent all the money on clothespins and towels.
All right, give us a bunch of tank tops.
I'm not sure of the right words to describe the fight scenes in this movie. Cheesy, corny, cheap, blatantly inauthentic.
All of them. All of those.
When Chuck wakes up from his ass whooping, he's on Rhonda's couch with an ice pack on his head, and Lieutenant Detective Morgan is staring a hole right through him.
I don't know. Maybe you should go talk to Jimmy. I just shoved a rake into his thigh, and he didn't flinch.
Morgan and Rhonda are demanding answers. Chuck's secret-keeping days are over. He tells them that Rhonda's partner, Mr. Erickson, flew him out after the first girl got dusted. His words. So he's done this kind of work before. You don't just say chicks getting
But,
dusted.
you know, since I showed up, 18 other women have died.
Mr. Erickson is thinking twice about... Hey, Chucky boy, how are things going down there?
Just to let you know.
Everything calm down?
Chuck-
stepping over a body bag.
Chucky boy, how long have we been friends?
Can't help but notice revenue's going down. My membership fees are drying up.
In the background, here's
No, they're dying out.
We're running out of body bags. What was that, Chuck? Nothing. It's radio. It's radio. Everything's fine. Well, Mr. Erickson flew him out to check on things, and he immediately sensed something weird about Jimmy. He saw the way he looked at Rhonda at the club, so he shows them the handful of Rhonda photos that he found in Jimmy's locker, and he also fills them in on Jimmy's shrine to Rhonda back at his apartment. Morgan tells Jimmy, you know what? Worst cop ever. All right, catch the first flight out of here. I never want to see your face again. What?
Possible murder?
You're a suspect. You just handed us all this evidence pointing to your enemy you've been fighting. Get out of here. I never want to see you again. What?
He checks out.
Leave the sleuthing to me, the guy who hasn't uncovered a single clue yet.
Pick up all these towels before you
Rhonda's like, hey, Chuck, before you leave, there's a bunch of towels at the thing. All
take
right.
out the trash.
You got it. No, in her apartment. They're just laying around their living room. Chuck, if you could. All right. Later that night, Officer Peterson, the world's most incompetent. Actually, Morgan's not the most incompetent. Peterson is. He's still standing guard while these people are getting killed. He discovers that while he was sipping his coffee in the other room, another girl was killed in the gym. And then he turns around and Jamie is hanging from a noose. She's been killed now. I like Jamie. I'm so sorry to see her go.
Yeah, I did too.
I think Peterson will be written up by Morgan.
Why?
I don't know.
Since I made you the sentry, four people have gotten axed right under your nose? No, of course not. The next morning, brace yourself as they haul Jamie and the other girls' bodies out, and aerobics class is in full swing.
Hey, it's the 7 o'clock. We gotta go.
Holy shit. And now, get this. The ladies are actually working out to a song called Aerobicide, with prophetic lyrics like, let's work out till we die. Beast fucking mode, man. Beast fucking. And 5, 6, 7, 8.
Who are these gym people that they look over and see 4 bodies piled up like kindling and think,
And don't these people have jobs?
I have to work on my sweet ass?
Pretty sure this was the birth of CrossFit.
You think so?
Yeah, that devotion, that fanaticism.
If they made this movie today, they just have everybody getting crushed to death by tires. He got strangled by those big ropes.
You got beat to death by those ropes.
Wait. Could we totally do Killer Workout 2?
Killer Workout 2. CrossFit.
CrossFit aside.
CrossFit aside. Go Tut.
All right.
You earned your beer tonight. Well, Chuck shows up to pack his things.
Death by coconut.
Chuck's only been there a few days, and he seems to wear the same outfit every day, yet he has the world's largest suitcase that he keeps at the gym.
Have you seen all the tank tops he has?
He walks out of the gym with a suitcase like this big. Okay. And as he's walking out the back of the gym, I guess walking to the bus stop, he doesn't have a car. He just starts walking.
It's the 80s.
I just go where Chuck Dawson's needed next. He's like David Carradine in Kung Fu.
It's like Kane.
I'm going to wander the earth in my tank top.
I'm going to go from gym to gym.
24-hour fitness.
Picking up towels.
Chuck Dawson.
Oh, shit. You're Chuck Dawson.
That's right. We have so many goddamn towels laying around this place. I'll start tomorrow.
I'm going to need you to pay for all my dry cleaning.
You have stuff that gets dry cleaned? That was a bluff. Well, as he's walking just randomly across the street with his giant suitcase, Jimmy revs up his muscle car and runs Chuck Dawson over. Oh, but Chuck does pull out Jimmy's gun from his pants and gets a couple shots. Why was he carrying that gun in his pants?
I don't know, but more importantly, why did he think? I don't know. I'm not hemmed in by walls or anything. I can go jump to the left or the right.
Well, I think Chuck Dawson overestimated his athletic. I think he tries to leap over the car and it goes terribly. But anyway, he runs him over and then he gets out and he stabs him with an ice pick in the heart. So now we've seen Jimmy flat out kill somebody.
Chuck Dawson wasn't wearing his car leaping tank top, so
No, he wasn't. Now are you Jimmy's the killer?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just saw
him kill somebody. We see the back of a badly burned scalp next, looking into a mirror. As a female hand reaches over and grabs a brunette wig off the vanity.
Wait a minute.
Rhonda puts the wig on top of her horribly disfigured, burnt head just as the doorbell rings. The entire back of her head is burned scar tissue, and we see her put the wig on top of it. This is new. At the door, it's Lieutenant Detective Morgan. Guess who learned how to use a doorbell?
Yeah.
I've been taking sensitivity training.
I'm taking a night class on how to knock on doors.
Well, since that last illegal entry went terribly wrong and the lady got killed.
All right, Detective Morgan, try again. All right. Ding dong. I just can't help it. I want to.
All right, now ring the doorbell.
I understand this, Detective Morgan, but we've worked on this.
You're right. Let me in. It is Lieutenant Detective Morgan, and he's cracked the case wide open. He calls her Valerie.
What?
That is your real name, isn't it, Rhonda? Valerie Johnson. Uh-oh. Yes, she says. She gets a little defensive. I had it legally changed. What's the big deal? He says the big deal is that Jimmy isn't the killer. He's a nut job, but the motive just didn't add up. Then he realized the missing piece of the puzzle. A, all the victims were members of the club. And B, this is the big one, they were all beautiful, good-looking people. Perfect bodies, you might say. Huh. All except me, she says. Yep. All except you, who had 70% of her body badly burned in a tanning bed accident 5 years ago when your name was Valerie Johnson. You were going to be the modeling world's next big star until you couldn't get a job modeling at the local freak show. Ouch.
All right, so we learned to use a doorbell, but let's...
Jesus Christ, this guy's tough. And he gets tougher. Rhonda Valerie opens up her shirt to reveal her bare breasts that are covered in scar tissue. Or someone just took a handful of latex and just
Pretty much.
splattered them on there. But I mean, her chest is obviously bad. Is this what you wanted to see? She yells. It's not necessary, he says. It still and
it's not.
and it still doesn't mean I killed all those people. I think it does, he says. I think just the sight of all those young, beautiful people drove you mad. Because you know just the thought of making love to you would make any man sick to his stomach.
Damn.
Wow.
Fuck. My God. I guess maybe he was trying to get her so worked up she'd confess?
I guess.
Or try to attack, like, something?
Maybe.
I don't know. If you really thought she was a psycho killer, maybe you bring some backup? No. And he doesn't tell anybody where he is. Headquarters, where are you, Morgan? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Morgan slaps the bracelets, that's cop speak for handcuffs, on Valerie, and he marches her outside to his hunter car. But just then, he gets a radio call from HQ, that's headquarters, that witnesses just saw Jimmy hack up Chuck Dawson. Like, several people witnessed what went down the parking lot. Jimmy's the killer. There's an APB out on him. So, Valerie smiles and holds up the handcuffs. Guess you gotta let me go. I guess maybe an apology's in order? Sorry I said all that about you.
I would think so.
I'm sorry you said all that shit about you being a hideous freak. Well, when Jimmy shows up at his place, Morgan is waiting outside for him in a foot chase. And this motherfucker does not believe in backup. There's an APB. They saw him kill a guy. I got it all by myself. There should have been 20 dudes waiting at this guy's house.
Call the backup off.
Tell the backup to back off. Well, they run all over town on foot until eventually they face off in an old rock quarry.
Apparently.
Stone Mill? What was that place?
Well, I can't figure out how did the stone. So is the town? Is there a stone quarry in the town? Is the
LA has stone quarries.
Do they?
No, I don't know.
It's just. I figured they'd run around for 15 minutes and end up back in the gym.
Wait, didn't the bad guys in Heat, one of the places they went to talk where it was noisy, wasn't that like a stone quarry?
I think there was a port.
Oh, they went
That
to
was the port.
Yeah.
One of the largest ports in the world.
All right, Todd, I'm wrong. Jeez, don't rub it in my face. Where ships come in daily, Cade. Thousands of all right, fine. I know what a port is. Drinking one right now.
Huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
So they go to this rock quarry, the stone thing. They're shooting at each other just blindly with, like, Jimmy will turn around and fire a few shots. At this point, when he's running away from the Morgan, and he's already shot at him, couldn't Morgan just shoot him in the back?
He could.
Yes.
You've shot at a cop. You can just kill it right there. Well, that's not Morgan's style.
Yeah. I can't kill this guy like I did the 15 others.
After exchanging gunfire all over the place, Morgan finally corners Jimmy and demands to know why he's covering for Rhonda. I know you only killed Chuck, not the others. But he's always obsessed with that motive. He has to know why. Well, Jimmy breaks free, knocks Morgan out, and runs off again. Back at the gym, Rhonda strips down naked, sans wig, and decides to take a shower in the dark. Apparently, even she can't stand the sight of her own body. We saw her look in a hand mirror a few seconds earlier, and she threw it across the room and shattered it. Her face is still gorgeous.
Which doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
I mean, she was fried pretty bad in that tanning bed. Anyway.
I'm going to say if they had some sort of reconstructive surgery that could fix her face, you'd figure they would be able to do something with the rest of the body.
I'm just saying she should be lucky that her face still looks good. Most people wouldn't be that lucky.
Yeah.
Huh. Jimmy shows up and he turns on the lights in the bathroom just as she steps out of the shower. Even Jimmy, who has no expressions other than this, he kind of like when he sees her naked body, like,
Yeah.
I've been doing what for?
I have to redecorate my house.
I've got to go take pictures of another girl. Talk about a miscalculation. I was off base on this one.
I was so wrong. I'm so sorry.
Well, he can't say shit because immediately she pulls out a giant 357 from her locker and just blows him to pieces. Why'd you kill Chuck? She asks him as she walks over to him. With his dying breath, he tells her he couldn't let Detective Morgan catch her. He loves her too much. He was protecting her. She smiles at him right before she shoots him one more time right between the eyes. Jeez. This might have been the one guy that could have got over her burns and loved her.
No, he was going to take down all those pictures.
That face was pretty clear. I'm going to go to Gold's Gym tomorrow.
And after she killed him, the 7 o'clock class came in.
We skip ahead a few days, and we find Morgan driving Rhonda out to the country in a rental car. They get out and begin walking the woods. Morgan is oddly carrying a shovel, which doesn't seem to be bothering Rhonda too much. Rhonda can't stop complaining. She's about to meet her friends for lunch. She's a big hero now that she killed the killer, Jimmy. And then, Morgan shows up and drags her out here. Morgan tells her the story of his father, who was also a cop on the force, until some punk shot him dead right before retirement. But years earlier, his dad had apprehended the infamous Midnight Strangler, and when they let the lunatic out on a technicality, his father took justice into his own hands. You see, the line, Valerie, between right and wrong is a thin line. My dad crossed it that night, and I'm about to cross it right now. I know you're guilty, and I know you're going to do it again, and I'm not going to let that happen.
Don't tell somebody you're about to kill them.
It's the James Bond ending. He's got to tell her everything. And turn his back to her while he's telling her. Oh, Dad would be so proud of me now. Okay, you just said you know she's a serial killer, and you clearly just have your back to her. Well, he does. So guess what? She grabs the shovel, hits him over the head with it, and that's it. Morgan, what an idiot. That's like Debbie level stupid. Well, we cut to the gym where Rhonda shows up to a hero's welcome. All the girls stop their aerobics and give her a big round of applause.
And they continue to
6,
clap
7,
with dead
8.
bodies strewn about like the towels.
They even grab the dead bodies and make them clap. She goes to her manager's... No, the towels are stacking up because Chuck's not there. She goes to her manager's office where her new assistant tells her a great idea she has where they can run an ad in the paper promising 2-for-1 memberships, and the first 50 new members get a brand new aerobics outfit.
Yay.
Before they know it, this place is going to be overfilled with beautiful people, she tells Rhonda. To which Rhonda lifts up her eyebrow. I'm counting on it. She grabs her keys, and her keychain is the giant clothespin murder weapon. She starts laughing wickedly into the camera. The end. I liked Killer Workout. It was fun.
It was fun.
No.
You didn't like all those aerobic scenes either, did you?
Actually, I like this movie like 10 times better when we were on the airplane and it had no sound.
You could just watch me watching it?
I could watch you watching it, and I had more fun doing that than when I actually had to watch it.
All right.
It's kind of like a lot of the movies. I have more fun listening to us talk about the movies.
Well,
than
that's
I do actually
I mean
watching them.
that's a given. But you actually liked it, Yax.
I did. I really did.
I did too. I thought,
I feel like I have to go and make some wardrobe changes now. I really need more tank tops.
I need more unitards. I've only got like 3 unitards. That can get me through like, I don't know, a week.
I mean,
If I wear,
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
depends on how sweaty I get.
I really feel like, Chuck Dawson, he spoke to me.
Chuck Dawson.
Hey, I love you, buddy, but you're no Chuck Dawson.
But I could be.
Hey,
You're more Richard Dawson than Chuck Dawson.
Oh, hey.
That's high praise.
That's high
Here we go.
praise.
I-
Richard Dawson. I'm sorry. Richard Dawson's better than Chuck Dawson.
Oh yeah, of course. But no, I dug it. That was fun. Hot babes, nudity.
That's the only thing it had
nudity,
going for it.
blood. Guy from Deadly Prey. Like that's pretty much all you need to make me happy.
Pretty much.
And some I wouldn't say bad acting, just really
Bad acting.
odd choices.
Bad acting.
No, we've had a lot of bad acting in the show. This wasn't bad. This was just
This
really
was there.
Well, if anyone that says, like, I'm going to watch a movie, it's got Ted Pryor in it. Well, I guess this time, this could be the one.
All right. Well, that concludes our first movie of the evening. And pretty much, I think we're almost all concluded on our first cigar of the evening.
Yes.
So why don't I introduce the second cigar? Because I see Tud over there just leering at it.
I am patiently waiting. I didn't want to get too far ahead of y'all.
Now, as far as I can tell, this is the straight-up Maduro version
It is the Maduro
of what we just smoked.
the 2012.
Sans the Candela wrapper?
I've heard it both ways.
Without the Candela wrapper. How's that?
Yes.
It is the 2000 by 12 Oscar By Oscar Maduro. It is also a 6x52 box press. It's identical in shape and size. It is again a Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper. Same Nicaraguan binder. Same Nicaraguan Honduran filler. This will be our final 2012 entry. Like I said, we enjoyed the Connecticut, which we did a good while ago. We really liked the Corojo.
Corojo was awesome.
And now this is the final of the 2012 series. We did the Barber Pole, and now we're doing the Maduro. And then I actually do have another Oscar offering, but we're going to save that for next year. It's enough Oscar for this year. He makes great stuff, but other people deserve to have their cigars smoked
Other
on the show.
people make great stuff too.
But I got to tell you what, I said this looked like a Twix bar earlier. It really does look like a candy bar. Doesn't it?
It does.
And if you kind of hold it to the light, it's got that all the 2012s kind of have the little tiny sparkles.
Yeah.
If you hold it to the scene, I mean, it's just a beautiful wrapper. As far as wrappers go, I mean, Oscar's kind of right up there right now with. He knows how to make a cigar look sexy. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, I'm curious to see what's different about this and what the Candela, brought. That I'm curious. I like that we're doing it back to back and see what the difference is.
Yeah.
Show you what the Candela can bring to the party that otherwise wouldn't be there.
Okay.
So let's light that up. We'll see how it goes with our Death by Coconut beer, and we'll talk about our next movie. We are back from break. We've all lit up our second cigar of the evening as Yak Boy sets fire to that. My God, that was a good-looking flame. I'm going to introduce the movie, and I'll come back here in just a second about the cigar. First impressions. Our second film of the night, Death Spa. If the first workout movie wasn't enough for audiences, in 1989, 2 years later, Death Spa came out.
Which was interesting because they did write Death Spa on the window.
Again, like I said, perhaps a podcaster who doesn't drink so much would have looked into some kind of tie. I am not that podcaster. Written by James Bartruff and my alias, Mitch Paradise.
Mitch Paradise.
If you guys are ever looking for me at the Hopkinsville, Kentucky Best Western, I've checked in under the name of Mitch Paradise.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
You might remember James Bartruff as the writer of some episodes of What's Happening on TV. And Mitch Paradise, of course, wrote several episodes of Remington Steele and Jake and the Fat Man.
Oh.
It's directed by a guy named Michael Fisher, who directed the same year the movie My Mom's a Werewolf. Did you guys see that one?
No.
You might remember him from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama.
Actually, he directed they redid What's Happening in the late 80s called What's Happening Now.
I remember What's Happening Now.
That's what James Bartruff wrote a few episodes of.
Oh, okay. I liked What's Happening Now.
I never actually saw What's Happening.
I did.
What was happening now?
Rerun was still doing his thing.
Rerun was suffering from intense diabetes. He was bedridden. It was just a really sad show. What's happening now? It's time for your insulin, Rerun. Oh, that's happening. It was canceled after one show. I'll tell you what's not happening anymore. Pizza. Was that actually an episode? You don't remember? Doubtful. Probably doubtful. So that's the creative team behind Death Spa. And before we get into it, just lit up. I had my big difference between this and the Barber Pole so far. I'm not getting the spice on the nose.
No spice?
Which, remember, I predicted that was the Candela.
Okay.
But I'm getting the chocolate on the go.
I'm not really getting chocolate.
I'm still getting some chocolate on the
I'm definitely getting
dark
chocolate.
chocolate and earth. Dark chocolate and earth on the thing.
Yeah. Put it a little bit that way. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of it. At least it's. I mean, it might be there, and I'm just passing over it. But it's not as prevalent as it was on the Barber Pole.
It is not. It's a little more muted.
Yeah.
But I'm getting that. Seems like a kind of a faint coffee note, maybe.
I can see that.
And earthiness. And there's a little spice on the nose, but it's nothing like it was on the other one. My draw is great. Smoke production is still beautifully. I'm just watching it glide up the body of the cigar. Man, all these 2012s have just smoked gorgeously. But yeah, that's it so far on the early goings. Anything else?
Nah,
No?
I don't know.
Not at the moment.
I shall come back. All right, Death Spa. We kick things off on a rainy night as a pounding thunderstorm sends a lightning bolt down on top of the Starbody Health Spa. And it knocks some of the electricity out of the letters to where Starbody Health Spa now reads Death Spa. How long do you think it took him to come up with a health club name that could turn into Death Spa? The camera glides its way through the Starbody Health Spa, and it is a ritzy, neon-infused, fancy pants gym. It is a leap above Rhonda's workout center. Oh, my God. Right?
Very much so.
But like Rhonda's place...
This is the gym that would be on the movie Wall Street.
Yeah, this is where Gordon Gekko would work out in Wall Street. You're absolutely right. But like Rhonda's place, they still cut out the lights while people are still working out. The astronomical electricity bills. We got. There's a chick still doing aerobics in there, and they just cut the lights on her.
You have no idea what it costs for those neons.
Exactly.
Her name is Laura, and she's finishing up her dance routine in the dark. When she's startled when Marvin creeps up behind her. But as soon as she sees that Marvin is Ken Foree, she immediately relaxes.
Which is very logical. You should relax around Ken.
Ken Foree. I thought you never saw Dawn of the Dead, the original.
I don't know. I've seen this actor, though.
He's the hero of top 3 horror movies of all time, Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what else you might have seen him in.
I don't know, but I've seen him.
Oh, he's done a lot of horror,
Yeah.
a lot of horror films.
I think he's done a lot of TV.
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
That's where I would have.
He's just such a calming, easygoing. He's a big guy, real big guy, but he's just a very calming. He's kind of got like a African American Tom Atkins about him.
Okay.
I can see that.
All right.
He's a smooth operator.
Smooth operator.
He's a very smooth operator. I think that's high praise.
Anytime you compare someone to Tom Atkins, that's high fucking praise.
Yeah. Well, he comes up behind her, but as soon as she sees it's Marvin, she's completely relaxed. He works there at the gym. Like I said, he's a genre movie legend. And as he tells her, you know what, he's going to close up for the night, he gives her a big kiss on the lips. You get the feeling he kisses every woman on the lips.
Dawkins style.
No, Chuck Dawson. It took forever to get him to give you. Oh, Richard Dawson. Sorry. You're going to have to specify
That's all right.
which Dawson you're talking about now.
That's all right.
I'm like, Chuck Dawson. It took Debbie, she had to physically, put his hand on her boobs. That's one of the reasons I thought he might be the killer. He was so awkward with women.
No, that's Richard Dawson.
Yeah, he's a smooth-ass motherfucker. He kisses every single girl he meets on the lips, and they're all okay with it. Laura uses her key card to get in the locker room. Rhonda's place didn't have key card access. 89, most places didn't have key card access.
No, that's fancy.
Everything is computerized in this place. As soon as she strips down and enters the steam room, it immediately gets way too damn steamy. She's laying there rubbing her naked, glistening body. Hands on top of the table. Let me see him.
No. Absolutely not.
There you go. Oh, you put the other one down there. She's laying there rubbing her naked, glistening body.
Go on.
Sweat beating between her ample bosom.
And?
I wish I could go on, but soon there's just so much goddamn steam in there that she's freaking out. It's just too much. She's choking. She's coughing. It's like the fog floated in there. She's screaming at like hell to let her out of there. The door has been locked. She can't get out. So eventually she punches her fist through the glass window before falling down, collapsing, naked, still glistening on the floor. Man, I love a good steam. You guys?
Absolutely.
My dream, I have to have my own steam room at one point. I love a good sauna.
Okay.
If it were up to me, we would do this podcast every weekend in towels in a sauna.
Actually, wouldn't be that bad.
God, that'd be awesome. I imagine the mics.
Join us for Facebook Live in the sauna. Oh yeah, all the electronics would just be fucked.
And our beers would be just condensating like, God, no, they're slipping out of our hands. But still, we could try one show in the sauna.
Chuck's running around picking up all the towels.
Oh, we'd have so many goddamn towels for Chuck to pick up. I wonder if a gym would let us take over their sauna for an episode.
I don't think so.
Do you think our podcast is ever broadcast live from a sauna?
No.
We could be the first. I'm just saying.
Let's see what I can do. Our hero, Michael.
Coming to you live from Gold's Gym Express. we couldn't do the rest.
They don't know we're in here. Hey, what are you guys doing? Nothing.
What's this door locked?
Good evening, brothers and sisters of the towel. Coming to you live from Anytime Fitness in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It's the Tuesday Night Steam Club. Nothing gay about that. Before I talk about our hero, Michael Evans, Todd, I saw you looking oddly at your cigar there. What were you experiencing?
I'm still trying to figure the cigar out.
Any clues?
No.
Tut's the Detective Morgan of cigar. I've got some ideas, but I'm looking for a motive in this cigar.
What's the flavor? What is the flavor?
Give me flavor.
Give me the flavor.
Flavor.
No, the Maduro's actually kind of confusing me because none of the flavors are as pronounced as that Barber Pole. Like, there's not anything that I can pick up right off the bat.
No, it's not.
It's kind of underwhelming a little bit.
It is a little bit. I find the strength a little bit stronger overall than the Barber Pole started out at.
Yes.
The chocolate is far more muted. There is that little kind of French roast coffee flavor that's very muted.
I got a little bit of that coffee.
Earth is there, but
yeah, but even that, it's just very subdued.
Yeah. I don't think it's a case of. It's definitely not a case that the beer's not conflicting with it at all. I don't know if it's the first. I don't think the first cigar destroyed our palates. It wasn't a strong cigar.
No. No, because right up into the last puff on the Barber Pole, I was getting all the flavors that we had identified throughout that entire cigar.
I will say this: it does have what the other one didn't. That mineral taste that I associate so much with Nicaraguan tobacco.
Yeah,
I didn't get any of that in the Barber Pole, and I am starting to get that about an inch into this. And I really love a mineral for me. That Nicaraguan mineral content of the soil is just when you get it, that is nice. But it just started, so I hope that amps up and continues. I'm kind of with you. Still trying to see what we got here.
It's one of those things to where I'm going to be kind of curious. Actually, no, I'm not, because I've smoked this about 3 or 4 times.
This cigar?
Yeah.
Oh, you've had the Maduro before?
Yeah.
Oh.
They have them at Smokers Abbey in Cedar Park, Texas.
Think they'd let us do a show in our towels?
No.
Oh, man. All right. Is this taste like every other one you've had?
Close, yeah.
Okay. But you liked it enough to buy it several times.
Yeah. Might have been drunk enough to where I confused it with Corojo, but, that's a different story.
They all have the same pretty much wrapper. And
It's
at least you're
just a
honest.
color.
At least you're honest. What about you?
Kind of like you, I'm getting a little bit of that mineral taste. Can't really say that, picking up anything else, or I say anything else, but any strong flavors.
No, and I'm actually going to change my thing to the chocolate's pretty much gone for me. I'm getting coffee and earth and mineral. The chocolate died down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking a chocolate beer, so that tells you something. All right, I'll come back to it. I'm actually going to get another chocolate beer.
Choco beer.
You know who's not drinking these? Rerun. What's happening now? Is he still alive?
Sad.
Yes.
He is still alive.
I have no idea.
Oh. I think we would see him on one of those Big Brother shows or some reality show.
You would think with all the retro resurgence that everything has that he would still be dancing away.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, get our Yeah, we'll find out if he's alive for us. All right. Well, our hero, Michael Evans, the owner of the health club, is woken up in his apartment from a vivid nightmare. He's dreaming about a woman's burning body, and he races down to the ER to check on Laura. She's the one who just got steamed.
Finds out that there's a woman's burning body there.
She has chlorine vapor burns over her entire body, but the doctor assured him it's not as bad as it looks. She's completely covered in gauze bandages, and she can't talk or move. She was ultimately going to be A-okay.
She's going to heal up right nicely.
She's just steamy.
Sadly, Rerun is not alive. He passed away in 2003.
Oh. I thought it'd be a lot earlier than that. It's a good run. Yeah.
He died at 44.
Wow.
52.
Oh. Okay.
That saddens me.
I wasn't a big What's Happening fan.
I'm gonna go cry now.
I actually couldn't tell you what What's Happening was even about.
It was about what's happening.
Oh.
It is true.
It was happening.
We know what's happening now. Nothing.
Nothing.
The next morning at the gym, things are bustling. There's a protein shake bar that's really busy. They're selling those old school tubs of Weider protein. Like people were just like grabbing it off the shelves. As a teenager, I lived on that stuff. I'd come home from working out, 2 scoops, a banana, some protein pills. Man, I kept Weider in business, and that's all GNC carried. They had like 2 protein powders. That was one of them.
That was the only one there was.
That was it. So that was kind of, I kind of had a little reminisce moment watching that. Girls and guys are lifting weights everywhere in their brightly colored short shorts, those high-waisted bikini bottoms where like they go up to above their hips and just it's glorious. It's simply glorious. The place is jumping. It's busy too.
It is.
Business is good. Marvin's making the rounds in a rainbow-themed robe of some sort, which is also glorious. Helping dudes with their spots on the bench press, helping chicks out. After saving an English kind of nerdy dude named Freddie from being crushed by some heavy weights, he turns his attention to Darla. Anybody recognize her?
Oh, yes.
I knew you would. First thing you might recognize her for?
To be honest, I might have totally checked out by this time.
Oh,
It
my
just
God.
started. It literally just started.
How? How can you check out? This movie is like loads better. Stars galore.
Yeah.
I said that I was a shitty podcaster for not seeing if the Death Spa people watched Killer Workout and named it after that. You're a shitty podcaster for not even watching the movie.
I watched the movie. It was on the screen.
And sweet, sweet Darla. Come on, man.
Darla first came to our attention as the stewardess in Commando. Don't bother my friend, he's dead tired.
And then,
She was Joe Hallenbeck's wife in The Last Boy Scout.
which is a fantastic movie, but before that,
She was Tila in Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay.
She's so sexy. I always thought she was.
and all we get out of that is,
Oh,
okay. Fucking Tila, man.
I can't even with this guy.
Growing up in the 80s, a sweet child of the 80s, and you get nothing for Tila?
Last Boy Scout, she was great in that.
Dude,
You fucking lost it, Joe. You fucking lost it.
say something.
Say
Say you're going to
something.
spit in my face.
You want me to spit in your face? Show me you still got some pride. Fresh out, honey. Come on.
Now that line fits.
I spilt my warm cup of piss.
Spilt my warm cup of piss. Still his best movie ever.
Oh, God.
She's great in it. She's so great in it. What'd you want me to do, Joe? I was lonely. Get a dog. I've always thought she was gorgeous.
She is.
And she looks amazing. I'd never seen her this young. She's just, oh. Well, Commando, I guess, was a little few years earlier, but she had her
she's-
hair really teased and her little stewardess
She's wearing
outfit
that
of
sweet little tight outfit in
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe. That was...
Tila? Oh. Yeah. How about that Man-at-Arms?
Can
He wore a tank top.
we move on?
I was trying to
just
tie it into... We also see some tech guys up in the control booth at the gym fucking around and adjusting the equipment's resistance. Because at this gym, you don't change the weights in the machines. You type in the weights in a keypad, and the computer does it all. So these guys are having fun adjusting it, and they watch guys struggling, like thinking they can lift stuff, and they're having fun. And it's everything in the gym is captured on closed-circuit televisions. Dude, this place makes Rhonda's place look like a total dump. Am I right?
It is.
True.
Some detectives, Fletcher and
And
Stone.
they have a whole bunch of flashing lights.
Oh, and a bunch of Escape from New York blinking
Blinky
lights.
lights. Switches and knobs. Knobs and switches.
Oh, so many switches and knobs.
I was just waiting for him to walk up to that control booth.
I might not have appreciated the movie, but I appreciated the light board and the computer sounds.
Yeah. So you did watch some of it. Well, some detectives, Fletcher and Stone, show up to talk to Michael about the Laura incident the night before. And the gym's manager, Priscilla Wayne, greets them at the door with a cup of carob coffee.
Carob.
The fuck is that?
Who knows?
From the juice bar. The cop even takes one sip of it. It's like, I thought you said it was coffee. Michael tells the detectives that a computer command center runs everything in the spa, and he introduces them to his ex-brother-in-law, David, who designed it, and he still controls the computer from
What do
the...
you mean, ex-brother-in-law?
What do you mean ex-brother-in-law? My wife's dead.
Well, that explains the X.
Well, they talked to David.
I love the fact that he looked at him like, oh, you killed your wife and now you're killing people
Hey, at least
here.
unlike Morgan, he's asking some questions.
Yeah. He's got some curiosity.
Well, they go up to the control room where David controls things, and David assures them he was at home hacking the night before. He couldn't possibly have oversteamed Laura. I was at home steaming chickens. I couldn't possibly have been here steaming Laura.
I love
I was
this.
adjusting these blinking lights.
And he gives them some computer printouts to prove that he wasn't there somehow.
I love this. To where it was like, oh, do you have an alibi? Yes, I do. I have these printouts right here. Please check out.
These printouts show that I was at home hacking. All right.
If you'll take a look at the timestamp that's on these printouts.
And he gives it to him, and then he's like, I'm going to need those back. What was that about?
Could you possibly print out? No. It doesn't work that way. The system doesn't work
All
that
these
way.
computers and blinking lights, I can't make copies.
What were you doing up here? I was trying to get all these lights to blink at the same time.
They are good-looking lights. Well, the cops are still there. Darla jumps up and down on the new diving board. And despite Marvin having said he checked it out earlier that morning, the bolts holding it together come loose. And as she dives, the board flies off over into the pool. Almost clocks her in the head. She's lucky to be
Was that
alive.
the only one who thought that the board was going to clock her in the head?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought she was toast.
Yeah.
Michael rushes up to the control booth to accuse David of having a glitch in his system. But David...
It's a freaking bolt.
But David says, there's no way. The computer doesn't control bolts. That's what he says. Fair point. He also chooses then to tell Michael, I notice you found a new love with Laura and some other ladies around the gym. Little soon, don't you think?
Wait, what?
And he's like,
Maybe now's not the time?
first of all, you know,
We almost-
Darla almost just died.
we
I
almost
don't know.
had a
You
death
just
in the
accused me
thing.
of murder because my computer system controls inanimate objects that have no motorized or electronics.
It's true.
And he's like, Laura and I started dating after Catherine, his wife, your sister, died. Again, we're having a lot of
Actually,
deaths around here.
No, actually, that makes total sense to where Yax just said he just got accused of, murdering people with his computer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, what about you with you getting your new girlfriend?
When your wife is just barely in the ground.
It's totally about
She really wanted those babies.
It's whataboutism.
She really wanted those twins. Just a lot of weird stuff. He just started talking out of nowhere. I was like, what? I thought I missed something. I was like,
Well, you got to cram in that backstory somewhere.
I don't know, man. They clearly have a complicated relationship. Let's leave it at that. My psychology background points to complicated relationship. You guys understand now?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Well, Detective Fletcher and Stone compare notes at a nearby hot dog stand. She thinks Michael is shady, but his money's on David, the computer geek. They also revealed that Michael's deceased wife, Catherine, made the front page of the Times when she died a while back. Burned alive into a crisp. Does that tell you anything? Stone asks. Yeah, says Fletcher. I need to tell my wife to start smoking in bed. Meanwhile, Marvin sits down in Michael's office.
Oh, is that how she died? Smoking in bed?
No,
He just really hates his wife.
he just really hates his wife.
Because that brings up a lot of questions from some imagery.
Because I'm sure when he comes stumbling home at 3 a.m, reeking of hot dogs and God knows what else, he's a real prize. She lights that cigarette in bed on purpose and just leaves it there. God, just dude,
please,
one favor.
Every night,
give me this
every
one
night
thing.
I light it up, and every day I'm disappointed.
Hey, baby, I'll be late. I'm at the Coney. Just take your time. I've got something else going on tonight. Another beer for Ted. Well, meanwhile, Marvin sits down in Michael's office, and they try for a minute to figure out what's going on. But literally for a minute, then they start tossing the football around.
That's pretty much it.
I got the feeling
specs work out.
I got the feeling that maybe Marvin was like a retired football player, and this is like his cush job, because Michael loves having Marvin around. He's kind of in awe of Marvin.
Yeah.
Like they're always horsing around, and he clearly like really cares for Marvin. I kind of saw, like OJ used to have all those relationships with businesses, and they liked having the juice come to their car lot, and like I kind of thought that was kind of what this was, because Marvin's just this good-go-lucky guy. Is just like,
If he had
hey, we've
only
had
referred to him as the juice.
We've had 2 close calls with murders. What do you think? I think we need to start tossing this football.
Right on. I kind of want to have Marvin around.
Oh, I'd love to have Marvin on the podcast. You have no idea how much I'd like that. That night, Michael has another.
No, I'm done.
That night, Michael has another dream about his
Shove
burning
these printouts
wife.
up your fucking ass.
He has a lot of dreams about his burning wife. He heads back up to the spa where he swims some competitive laps with Marvin, and then they start dunking each other and horseplaying in the pool. What grown man does that?
But I'm also asking the
Can
question.
you imagine if when we go on these trips, if you went down to the Best Western Pool in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and me and Yaks were down there dunking each other and like wrestling in the pool and not drunk?
I actually think this would make a lot more sense.
Oh, we've done that drunk. We shut down the Fairfield Inn in Temple, Texas. It's not there anymore because of us.
We'll never get any customers back. This isn't Rhonda's gym.
Yeah, we soiled that place pretty. No, that night. That night was one for the books. They start talking after they've roughhoused. They're adults. They're playing Marco Polo.
Oh my god.
Marvin thinks it's odd that Priscilla found Laura's body in the sauna, as he was sure that Laura was the last one there that night. How could I miss seeing Priscilla? And how could I miss when I left that night seeing Priscilla's car and the thing? Michael's like, so you think she's up to something? Maybe. We have our first suspect.
Dun, dun, dun.
The plot thickens. You know who else's plot thickens, boys?
Who's?
Our friends at Drew Estate. That is the worst segue in the history of segues. Hey, it's our second
I'm
movie.
not
Just
judging.
bear with me, all
I was
right?
about to say.
I've had a lot of coconut beers. All of Drew Estate's acid cigars are carefully handcrafted using some of the world's finest tobacco with more than 140 herbs, botanicals, and other essential oils to get their unique aroma and flavor. Experiencing acid cigars is the only way to truly understand them. Similar to all DE cigars, their construction is flawless. They're rolled in Sumatra, Maduro, Connecticut, and African wrappers. Head on out to your favorite cigar retailer, grab a handful of acid cigars, and you shall not be disappointed. Speaking of cigars, how's this one treating you?
A little bit of leather coming in.
Yak Boy's usually the first one to pick up on the leather. You get any leather?
A hint.
It's a hint on the retro hill.
I will say this. Before the halfway point, the spice on the nose picked up. I didn't see that coming. It's almost up there with the barber pole as far as, for me, heavy pepper on the nose. It was not there earlier, but it's getting there now. Earth, mineral, and I'm going to go with Tut. I'm getting the leather.
Yeah, it's more sitting into or starting to settle into a classic Maduro profile.
It is, because I'm still getting a little faint note of the coffee with that earth, with the mineral, with the leather. Pretty much, like you said, your top 5 Maduro flavors are all kind of present. It's smoking great, construction-wise. Yeah, I'm digging it.
Yeah, construction-wise, it's really, really good.
Summed up,
Yeah.
that's what you're getting. I know you're not a fan, Tut. Maybe 4 in, you're a little more okay with it. But, man, for me, this beer has really gone well with these cigars.
Yes.
It's actually gone surprisingly better than.
Fortunate that we got a lot of chocolate in both cigars.
Yeah.
It was kind of fortuitous it worked out that way.
It really did. I mean, I wouldn't go for this beer. I wouldn't buy this beer. But the pairing between them, it's not bad.
It's really not. I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to think what else. I wouldn't do an IPA with these cigars. I wouldn't do anything like a Belgian, anything light, a triple.
Scotch.
Porter or stout?
A porter stout, I think, is.
Or Scotch.
Oh yeah, you do Scotch. Well, Scotch goes with everything.
I was about to say.
I've never met a cigar that Scotch wouldn't work with. Do you have Scotch money for the episodes? Because we don't. But if you're going to go,
still working on our Scotland connection.
If you're going to go beer, I think we made the right choice. And I'm glad I gave porter. I was scared off by the porter label just because that last one was so terrible. But this one has got a lot more going. It's actually got flavors. That thing didn't have anything. The Bell's porter.
Yeah, you're right. That was a very boring beer. And I will say this is not a boring beer at all.
No, I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. Okay. Well, the next morning at the spa, Darla approaches a dude doing machine crunches and asks him how many reps he can do. That's where you sit on a machine.
I know what a rep is.
Counterbalance, and you... Okay. He says, well...
Actually, a rep is just the repetitions of the exercise. It can be with free weights. It could be on a machine.
Reps are reps.
Exactly.
As long as you're doing them. If you don't do them, they don't count as reps.
Correct.
What was it Arnold used to say?
I've tried that. I've laid down on a bench and got up. How many reps you do? 10. You didn't move. None.
Forced reps.
Those weren't reps. Well, she asks him, how many of those can you do? Clearly coming on to him. He says, well, it depends on if I'm showing off or not. But when she asks him, will you show off for me? He says, you're beta, I'm VHS.
No, you're VHS, I'm beta. I think it was reversed.
No, because beta was the old stuff. VHS is the new stuff. In '89, nobody was using beta anymore.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was your beta on VHS. That makes sense.
Let's go with that.
He says, you're VHS, I'm Laserdisc.
There you go.
Boom.
Totally blows her off. Ouch. Major 80s ouch.
What are you doing tonight? Nothing. Sucks to be
Sucks
you.
to be you. Date much? Yeah, he went full Jimmy on her, didn't he? But that line seems like something you would see in something filmed today as a like a cute throwback. But this was actually
that would be the on the nose.
That would be on the nose, like Stranger Things or.
Let's cram the references in.
But dude, this was actually shot '89. He actually said that. That's awesome. Totally awesome.
Totally tubular.
Tubular.
Awesome.
It was radical. Perhaps.
Is rad.
It was rad. Well, we then get our first glimpse at Starbody Health Spa's aerobics class.
Just like it's rad right here on this coconut porter.
Oh, look, on the bottom of the porter.
Hello, rad. Oh.
They do capitalize the rad in Colorado.
I'm done with this beer.
It's so perfect.
Pass dash hit, my man. Pass dash hit. That's on the can too.
We
Googled it on break. Cannot figure out what that means.
Even the Google didn't know.
Even Google didn't know. Even the Google didn't know. Don't you start calling it that, because I'll start calling it that.
Listen, if Patty and Selma show up next to us, it can only get better.
Well, we get our first glimpse at the Star Body.
Two chicks from,
Yeah. We on our many travels, we met some nice elderly ladies who were obsessed with the Google.
We met the real life Patty and Selma.
They really were.
If you don't think that art imitates life and life imitates art, we will tell you differently. We met Patty and Selma.
Oh my God, we did.
I was just waiting for. I mean, that little dog. If it was an iguana, I would have gotten the fuck out, man. I would have just rolled the fuck right out.
They even wore their nightgowns.
They did.
Oh my God, I never thought of that before. And they took Patty and Selma to the next level. They were wanting to make their own cigarettes.
Oh yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we get
I
our.
was about to say, you talked about that you've never left anywhere where your insides were hurting. No, there's been a couple of times on the show where my insides have hurt. I mean, because I'm crying, but
That's a
No,
different,
no.
That's a different.
Those are just tears.
Well, we do get our first glimpse at the Starbody Health Spa's aerobics class, and I'm sorry, dude. Rhonda's classes blow this one out of the water. Agreed.
They're like doing ballet and bullshit.
It is
Rhonda has
not as sexy. Granted, the aerobic scenes in Killer Workout last at least 2 or 3 minutes. They only give us like 30 seconds here.
yeah, but even still, it didn't have the heart. It didn't have the soul.
It didn't have the music. Like
Didn't have the music.
It was soulless.
It didn't have the sweet, sweet leotards.
And those
that were
leotards
just-
were not the same. They
No.
just weren't. They just weren't yet.
I think one of them was dressed like a bumblebee or something.
Well, you're talking about 89,
Some
so
stupid
you're
shit.
starting to get a little bit of the 90s.
as
This is the birth of the 90s.
as Yak Boy
fashion
said,
coming
the
out.
LA gear was coming on the scene. Things were changing. I like my 87 aerobics over my 89 aerobics.
I agree.
I'm
so excited.
And I was much more in the gym scene in 89. That's kind of when I lived in the gym. I went every day. I rode my bike. I got it every year for my birthday, starting around 88.
Oh, we did.
I got a membership, a year-long membership to a gym for my birthday, starting in 1988. And I rode my bicycle every day, several miles to the gym. And I'd live there. And I'd see these people in these outfits doing this crazy... This rang so many bells for me.
I don't think I
But I
even-
still like Killer Workout better. I still... Maybe it's because the unitards and the boobs and stuff, I guess.
I think I went to the gym once in like 96. Then I didn't sniff the gym until I was like in my mid-30s.
Lifestyle's not for everybody, Tut.
Yeah, it's not. I'm trying to get weights, and there's like this 500-pound muscle dude, and I'm just kind of like, no. And then I'm trying to like do these free weight back exercise, and some dude walks up to me and is like, you need to straighten your back out, man, and you need to do that. And I'm like, it feels like you're hitting on me, and I'm out of here.
Tut has those dumbbell racks in his garage.
I actually use those quite often, thank you.
When the first trip we did earlier this year in Florida, when I saw him in there, I took a feather and I put it on top of each dumbbell.
You are lying
and
out of your ass.
every time we go, I look and it's still there.
You are lying out your ass.
Michael makes an appearance in the aerobics class where he plays grab ass with some of the girls. He's a little horn dog. And then he retreats to his office, which is weirdly decorated with some like southwestern cow skulls and Navajo vests on dummies. What is that?
I was waiting for him to actually
Stallone
be wearing
style.
one of those sweet, sweet vests because I was like,
Dude, it's decoration in his office. These vests on these mannequin bodies. Was that a thing in the 80s?
apparently it was for him.
Where do you
And
think
I wanted those vests.
Where do you think Stallone got it from?
Starbody Health Spa. How much for one of those vests?
Wait a second. Do I need to go back and look at those extras in the
You
background?
might, you might need to.
Damn Stallone.
He did have a career lull in the...
I did a couple of.
I don't
freelance
remember that being a
projects.
thing, the southwestern skulls and vests.
That's always been around, man. That is always.
People love that.
It's always been around.
People love the Southwest.
Well, when he gets in his office...
Think of the bolo ties.
Yeah, but this is L.A. Nobody's wearing a bolo
Oh,
tie and
come
a
on.
Navajo vest.
No, it was still there. It was still there.
I think you're all out of your minds. Well, he also he looks on his bookshelf and he finds a bird nest with what looks like a little heart in it.
I think it's like a dead bird.
But it was shaved. It was like...
It's a baby bird.
Oh, it was like a fetus.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense because of the dead... Catherine's dead kid. All right, I didn't know what the hell it was. It just looked like a little ball of...
It was gross.
It was gross. Well, he rushes into the control room to confront his ex-brother-in-law. I saw the bird nest. What are you trying to do? Hey, the computers don't control bird nests. What are computers? What are you talking? I have a printout that shows you I didn't put that bird nest in the thing. Back off, man. Back off.
You want to know what I was doing here? Here's this printout right here. Look at the timestamp.
I don't think those are how printouts work.
Well, it did for Michael. He looked at the print. He's like, I guess you're in the clear.
I wish. Oh man,
I'm gonna need that back. All right, I'll buy a Xerox machine so you can. God.
You can't hit print twice. No, I can't.
And the
Take that dot matrix printer.
Well, dude,
shove it up your ass.
It's a weird bird nest. It's a weird bird fetus. It's a weird scene with him and David because he didn't really get into it. Like, just back off.
No, it was like over.
It was over. That's how everything is in this movie.
Yeah.
We then cut to the showers.
If I didn't have to go throw that football with
If Marvin wasn't waiting for me to get down there and play volleyball one-on-one with him in the pool.
No, it's totally fine. Everybody loves their Marvin time.
Look, I understand. I got the printout here. It has a schedule.
Everybody loves their Marvin time.
We then cut to the showers. I'm going to need to see you guys' hands on top of the table again.
No.
Where we get a few spectacular minutes of the ladies washing themselves.
I did appreciate this thing.
This film does not skimp on the TNA. I don't know if you Tut did notice that scene.
Yeah.
He checked back in on that, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you look up from my
Dominoes
session.
Oh. But all of a sudden the showers start going crazy. The water starts blazing hot, and the wall tiles on the walls start shooting off and hitting the girls.
I don't understand that.
Mayhem ensues. Just as soon as Michael cools down the situation, he promises the girls that were hurt, I'll give you 3 free months of membership. Oh, Michael. And, hey, how about I take you 2 girls out? Think you can handle both of us at the same time? I could die trying. Dude, this guy's just getting it all over the place.
Michael knows what's up.
I think he also runs into the control room again. The computer doesn't control the shower tiles.
I think he actually said that.
It does.
That's
Well,
what I'm just gonna say from now. The computer doesn't control this.
while he's calming these girls down, though, a buff dude programs the machine flies. That's a machine where you get into and you put your
I know
arms
what
up,
a fly machine is.
and you move them like this, and it works out your pectoral muscles.
I know what.
Okay. Well, the machine starts because
What are pectoral muscles? Though?
your chest muscles.
Oh, okay.
You type in how much weight you want to use. There's no physical, and the computer does it all.
I'm sorry, this gym makes no sense. It's just the...
But as the guy's doing the flies, the computer starts increasing weight by 50 pounds, increasing weight by 200 pounds. The guy's going crazy. For some reason, he can't just take his hands off the thing.
Like every fly machine ever, where that stops like right here.
This extends so far back his pectoral muscles and his...
I don't understand how it
Lat muscles.
busts your fucking ribs.
First of all, he can't just take his hands down?
No, I know. It makes no sense.
It
I
goes
won't
up-
let this machine beat me.
Beast mode. Dude, it literally, you see his ribs start popping out of his skin. His guts start oozing out of his sides. His actual pectoral muscles just flop out of his body. He dies.
Yeah.
This dude's a dead duck. It's gory. It's
The
gross.
computer doesn't control. Wait. Oh yeah, it does.
It did. It's bloody and it's gross. And it looked good. It's practical
It
effects.
actually did.
Not great, but I mean,
Nah.
it's clearly just a...
I was just so confused at.
Why he
Why?
couldn't take his hands away?
Yeah.
I was too busy getting my printouts ready.
Do you think there would be something in there where they couldn't increase the machine flies to 2,000 pounds?
Well, if there's a computer glitch...
Of course. Hey, there's no
I mean, the
glitch.
guy already admitted he was out hacking the other night.
which should have been like, it wasn't that a crime even back then, or by now?
No, they didn't even know what he was talking about.
There was no internet back then.
No, hacking was a different term.
Oh, he's whacking off.
No, not whacking.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did hacking mean back in the 80s?
Well, if you understood basic,
Exactly.
You said it meant something else. What did it mean?
No, I was totally wrong.
I was just bluffing. I didn't expect you to call me on that. All right. Well.
The
Noted.
computer doesn't.
Kate,
control my
I've
life.
got some printouts here that says you should just leave me alone on this one. Oh, okay. It's a printout. It checks out.
I'm going to need those back.
I'll give you your damn printouts back. In the control room, speaking of...
No, that's actually a pretty decent point because, one of my problems with the use of the word hacking now is like,
Oh, but my
life
Facebook-
hacks. And there's,
No, my Facebook's been hacked. Nobody hacked into your Facebook.
not only that, but like they use how to hack your kitchen recipes and all this shit. I'm like, that's not what the term came from. And I was used to like, the term hacking means you're illicitly exploring.
Like the Angelina Jolie movie, Hackers.
You're exploiting.
which
You
had
know.
absolutely nothing to do with
Which they
computers.
never had. I never saw it.
But no, this was actually predated my definition of hacking, and so hacking does mean just fucking around with code.
So when I send you guys that text message that I got a new way to hack macaroni and cheese,
Oh, fuck you.
you roll your eyes at the text.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll stop doing that. Thought I was helping.
This is my toilet hack for getting a good poo.
Here's a printout that says you guys can go fuck yourself. I need it back. In the control room, David pleads ignorance. And Michael's on-site lawyer, he's got this lawyer that just kind of follows him around places.
This gym is equipped with everything.
L.A.
It is LA.
He tells him, because Michael wants to shut the computer down. The guy just got his body ripped to shreds. Hey, Michael, slow your roll. The minute we make the machines manual and not computer automated, it'll take away what's special about the spa. Not to mention that the big Mardi Gras party at the spa's coming up. And if you shut down the computers now, they're going to lose the 20% increase in memberships we always get a result of the big Mardi Gras festival.
Well, I guess.
I understand nothing.
We've had killer sharks,
Yes.
killer snakes,
Yes.
serial killers,
Yes. Zombies. He still had the Labor Day picnic. He had
zombies, Labor Day picnic. Boys, now killer gym equipment. You cannot cancel a big festival in a town no matter what. We know this.
Look, the mayor of Funtown is coming over here. He's going to explain to us why we can't stop this.
Listen, folks, if you live in any kind of town that for some reason has a yearly festival of any kind, shit's going to get crazy, and you're out of luck because they can't cancel these things. This one is the big Mardi Gras festival or party. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
They celebrate Mardi Gras.
As soon as
in
that
LA.
lawyer was he's always around, like, okay. Killer Workout didn't have any of those odd curveballs for me. Like, I knew who everybody was. Everyone had a like, this lawyer just is always slinking around. Come on. Michael picks up Laura from the burn center, and as soon as she's back at his place, he's all over her, despite her bandage-covered eyes. She's still blind. This guy's horniness knows no bounds. There's even a very unerotic scene at the
God.
dinner table
Oh my
where he
goodness.
runs a piece of asparagus down her forehead and like teases it over her lips.
It's like some weird.
Asparagus.
It's like some weird
Nine-
version of 9.5 weeks.
Hey,
it's
9.5 weeks, WEAKS.
It was horrible. I mean,
If I grabbed a
I
piece
looked
of
up
asparagus,
from my Domino's pizza and was like, "What the fuck?"
you didn't sit down with the wife that night with asparagus and rub it all over her face?
She would look at me like, "What the fuck?"
What the fuck are you doing putting asparagus in my face?
Well, I have this printout that says it's very
The
erotic.
printout says I'm turning you on. I need it back. What the fuck was that asparagus
Oh
scene?
I
god!
don't know.
I have never found asparagus erotic.
Maybe there's like a copyright. You can't use any sort of fruit or anything?
Oh, like 9.5 weeks. Like, you can't be using strawberries.
You
No,
can't do
no
that.
bananas. Shit, what do we do? Well,
I got this broccoli. Whoa.
hey,
Lawyer here said differently.
Laura's been through enough with the burn center. We don't need to introduce broccoli into the mix. I don't know. What about asparagus? Yeah,
all right.
We'll try it. If not, you got any of those baby corns? I can think of some pretty wicked shit we can do with those. According to my printouts, baby corns. If we ever get to make another movie, I'm going to do an erotic scene with baby corns. Get ready, Tut. You're going to need a soft lens. Where were we?
Oh no, I lost track as soon as this scene happened.
Oh,
I was like,
when she nibbles
fucking-
on the head of the asparagus, he knows that she's the one for him. He asks her to move in with him, and she agrees, but she wants him to take her by the death spa to get her things first. Okay.
Is she living at the death spa?
Bad idea, because right before they get to the death spa, a poor girl finds herself alone in the locker room. All the locker doors start opening and shutting like crazy, just everything. She's like, what the fuck? Before she can run out, though, the locker opens and a spike shoots out and goes right through her head.
Who
Despite
the hell's keeping spikes in their locker at the gym?
Yes, but did anyone know who that girl was?
No.
Don't look at me.
Like I said, this movie is so full of just wonderful actors. Come on, man. Coming to America.
No.
Oh, yeah?
You know,
No.
I've never seen it.
You know I've watched it. Like
I know he-
300
I'm going to need you to
times.
read this printout while I talk to Tut.
Here's a printout saying you're
Coming
an
to
asshole.
America. She was the sister.
Get the fuck out of here.
I am not getting the fuck out of here. I immediately recognized. Why am I the only person here who read the printout and gave it back?
Maybe because I didn't see her dancing like.
Maybe because you
Well-
weren't watching the movie.
Yeah,
He checked out.
I was totally fucking.
It's totally
checked
her.
out.
See what you missed?
I saw some stuff.
She was
I did
naked
not
too,
know
wasn't
that.
she?
No, she was not.
Oh, she was
Yeah,
not.
no.
Oh, she had a bra on.
I would have noticed that. I noticed the fucking spike that came out, and I was like, "Why is there a spike in a locker room?"
Well, here's the thing.
I did not know that was her though.
Yes.
because I kind of had a crush on her.
You start to get the feeling with those locker doors doing that because there's clearly no way the computers can. This is the first time you kind of suspect maybe supernatural elements are at
And
play.
because like just about, I would say 75% of supernatural movies always have the opening doors,
Cabinets opening.
Yeah.
That's when I'm first starting to think, oh, are we dealing with a ghost here?
Yeah.
Well, here's what a great boyfriend Michael is. Despite her being completely blind, Michael leaves Laura alone in the locker room to collect her shit. She can't see anything. So much so, she opens the wrong locker, the dead body's in there, and she doesn't even see it. She's just grabbing shit and putting it back. Like, I'll be in my office. Let me know when you're done. I'm blind, dickhead. No, you'll be fine.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn to adapt.
Well, he's back. He's back in his office.
Your other senses will take over.
He's got to go back to the office. He's going to go back to the office to engage the security system, which we see the security system password is Catherine, his dead ex-wife's name.
I thought he was going to put on one of those sweet vests, but I
Dude,
was
that'd be
mistaken.
sweet. Like that. Got a fresh thing with asparagus. Shit's going to get wild tonight.
Haven't worn old blue over here in a while.
When suddenly, as he's on the computer, a message pops up on the screen. Michael, I miss you. Like scrolls across the screen. Is that David sending that to fuck with his head?
Michael.
What is that?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
He then sees a figure in a black dress on the closed-circuit cameras creeping through the halls towards the locker room. Uh-oh. And just as it's about to reach Laura, he runs out and tackles the figure. But it's just sexy Darla in a Halloween mask.
Oh, darling.
I was really hoping that wasn't the go. Like, that's just a cheap rubber mask. Like, this is the best they could. This is the best they could do. But no, it's just Darla in a mask trying to scare blind Laura, who just got steamed to death.
Oh, she's blind, Laura. She can't see her.
Hey, there's Laura. She just got out of the burn center. I'm gonna get her. Hey, crazy bitch! Don't do that. It's never a bad time to fool around, is it?
It is not. Oh, sexy Darla.
Tet cigar.
Yep.
Same. I'm
Yeah.
assuming by that response.
Yeah.
A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee, a little bit of leather, a little bit of everything you kind of.
It's a Maduro cigar.
It's a Maduro cigar. Okay. I will say this though, we've had some Maduros on the show lately that have been very lackluster. Not to name names. This is not. I am enjoying it. I just happen to like the Barber Pole a lot more.
I am. It's probably no fault of the cigar itself, or maybe it is. I enjoy the Corojo so damn much, and the Barber Pole was even. Man, it was even better than that.
It was by far the best 2012 I've had.
Yeah, and it's just like this is the third offering, and it was just. It's not that it's bad. It's just that I know what I know what I love about the 2012, and you know this is third place.
So far, I agree. I don't really remember the Connecticut too well.
I kind of don't.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying this is third place. I'm going to put Connecticut fourth place.
Yeah, just by default.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm just still getting earth and some mild chocolate, a little bit of coffee, a lot of earth, a little bit of leather. Nice flavors, good construction. I will say this on both. The ash does not stick around long.
No.
So
No, you're right.
be warned.
You're right.
That's not a. I never knock off a cigar for not holding an ash, but be
I
warned.
usually dump my ash as soon as possible.
Yeah, be
anyway.
be warned. Your lap will thank us. Just ash frequently. But man, construction's great, and it's got some decent flavors.
Construction is actually flawless, like most of Oscar's stuff. I mean, it's still a good-looking cigar, good-looking presentation.
I'm about halfway. You're about halfway. I'll wait till one more go around. We'll talk price point. Well, as we pour another round of coconut beers, the coconut is very, very subtle in this.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
It is.
No,
It
it's
is.
not.
2 out of 3 podcasters say it is. I don't like coconut. I'm adverse.
Then how are you standing this beer?
I'm adverse to it. I think it's what's doing it for me in the beer. I don't like porters, and I like this. Later that night, while lounging around his pool in his Speedos, Michael has another vision of his ex-wife. When they die, is it ex-wife or...
Ex-wife.
It is ex-wife if they're dead. Okay. His ex-wife, Catherine, burning alive.
I don't know if it's an ex-wife.
I don't think it's called
That
an
sounds wrong.
ex-wife.
It's like
if-
former wife. My first wife. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Ex-wife just sounds wrong for a widower.
Well, he wakes up from this vision of her burning again and climbs into bed, and he tells Laura, who's laying there with the bandages on her on her face, blind, we can't see where the asparagus is. He thinks his ex-wife is behind all the craziness. The nightmares, the accidents at the gym, the message on his computer. He can feel her presence, and he thinks it's her doing all this. Oh, well, good night, sweetheart. He gives her a kiss and goes to bed.
I don't know where these crazy thoughts are covering.
And
Hey,
she doesn't really give much to it. Like, she's still got something over you, doesn't she? Good night.
You know, if I could find my way to the door, I'd probably leave.
If I could find my clothes, I'd be out of here, you weirdo. But
sweetie, I can't see where you're going with this. Literally.
Laura, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. Would you go make me a sandwich? I'm blind. You'll figure it out.
You did so well with getting your clothes from the gym.
Well, it's lights off. Not that she would know. The next morning, we cut to the office of Dr. Lito Moray, paranormal investigator.
I like Lito.
I knew he would. Michael has brought a piece of Catherine's jewelry. Was that a brooch?
Yeah,
It's a
like
brooch.
Little Victorian brooch she used to wear around her neck.
Who wears that even?
Nobody in 1989 that I know of, but apparently she did.
Nobody in 1989, 1979.
Well, he brings this brooch. He wants to see if Dr. Moray can summon any energy out of it. He's a paranormal investigator.
Because that's a legit.
Moray uses this cheesy electronic wand. He waves it over it, and he discerns that Catherine was never the same after the miscarriage. She was filled with jealous anger. Unjustified jealousy. Dude, Michael comes in really quick with that. I wasn't fucking around. You can't prove anything, Moray.
Look, I've got printouts.
I have printouts right here that say I never did anything to make her jealous.
Can I get those back?
I need those back. Seriously, that was funny how defensive he got. Like, unjustified. I gave her no reason. Until Moray says he's getting all this just from waving that wand. She eventually walked out into the garden, doused herself with gasoline, and burned herself alive. You'd think that would impress Michael, but it doesn't. He's like, that was all in the papers. You could have known that anyway. As he gets up to leave, Moray says, a bird's nest. That stops Michael in his tracks. She saw your family as a bird's nest. Papa bird, mama bird, building a family full of baby birds. All right, there's no way he could have known that. So now that he has Michael's attention, Michael tells Moray that he wants to start building a new bird's nest with Laura, but he has to solve this first, figure out what's going on. He suspects his brother-in-law, David, Catherine's twin, is behind it all. Dr. Moray says he'll come by the spa tonight under the guise of an insurance investigator, so it doesn't raise any eyebrows, and I'll find out what's really going on. And then he pulls out a giant handgun, looks at Michael, and Michael smiles like, all right. What is that about? I'm going to show up at your gym tonight with this and take care of it. Awesome. What?
All right. So let's take for face value that you're legit and you're talking about the restless spirit of my wife. You're going to go Dirty Harry on a ghost?
These bullets shoot through ghosts.
Ghost bullets. All right. Well, you're the paranormal investigator, not me, I guess. Right? Maybe?
I guess.
Would have been a lot different if he did like this, like your gun's not loaded. Ghost bullets. I would have loved that scene.
That would have been way better.
They're expensive. It's going to cost you. And I'm going to need a per diem for meals. All right, Moray. You get what you need. You just bring plenty of those ghost bullets because I think a lot's going on tonight. I'll bring an extra magazine full of ghost bullets. Now get out of here. I gotta conjure up some spells to make these bullets. As he hits the bong. California.
Yeah.
Only in California. And all this time, by the way, the two detectives, Fletcher and Stone, are still following Michael around in a beat-up Hunter car.
I was really waiting for them to just be like, towing a hot dog cart with them.
Fletcher's actually manning a hot dog cart down the street. We also have a quick scene here in an unknown bedroom where Catherine's voice is heard talking to a man. We presume it's David because there's photos of the two of them on the nightstand. And she's talking about we must punish everybody. Everyone must be punished. But we don't know who she's talking to. We don't really know who who cares? It's weird. It's confusing.
No, you had it right the first time. Who cares?
Man, the budget on this sucker is clearly a few decimal points above Killer Workout.
It is.
But so far, I'm much preferring the first film. I know you said you like this one better, but to me, Killer Workout had better characters, better aerobic scenes, and I'm just not finding anybody to really latch on to here, character-wise, that I really care about.
Well, I disagree with you, and here's these printouts to show you.
Why I'm wrong?
Well, considering the caliber of actors they have in
I'm just not.
Yeah, but it's like,
and I should love this movie.
It's
but
like this movie lacked.
I mean, they really, honestly, they needed to switch actors between the two because
make Ken Foree the Michael.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
This
Michael guy is just a total. He's just a plank.
As much as I thought Killer Workout was a waste of time, at least it had character. At least there was a soul to the project that came through.
You could feel it.
Right.
You often say you can sense the intent of a cigar when you can tell what the guy blending it was trying to do.
And I could tell.
I couldn't tell what these people were trying to do. Except make a quick 80s slasher movie, ghost movie in a gym.
Yeah.
Killer Workout, it seemed like there was actually a little bit of craft involved. The guy was
it seemed
trying.
like it seemed like there was a little bit of passion involved.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
He had songs written for. I mean, like, again, the aerobic scenes.
I try not to hold a budget against a project because, good Lord, I mean, not everybody has a budget.
Story of my life.
But yeah, it just seemed like Deathball just kind of lacked something.
Or they maybe tried, and they tried hard, and they put a lot of effort into like the effects and as far as the kills and stuff.
Or it could be. You never know. I mean, you never know when it comes to editing this stuff to where how much got chopped out, spliced together.
That's true, but you know what? I think Yax may have touched on it too. I think the character of Michael is so weak, the actor.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a different actor playing that role, like someone who was just really like tortured, or really like
Maybe
somebody who could balance the sleazy grab ass guy with a really like this guy just had nothing. He brought nothing to the table.
Yeah,
he looked like every '80s actor on a
really
sitcom.
did. Because I mean, I was kind of like, where have I seen this guy? Oh, I think I've seen him in everything.
Yeah, it was one of those deals.
Yeah.
I think that might have been it. I just think there's these. I'm glad we did double feature because these films are so damn similar in so many components. But to me, I think the execution of the script is the separator. I really like the execution of Killer Workout better. I guess I just prefer my '80s fitness-based horror a little more cut and dry.
Well, that and the supernatural element kind of just loses me.
To me, later in the third act, it really loses me because I think that's where they just.
Go
You had some money, and this is what you did for your. All right, we'll get to that. The next day at the spa, one of the girls who has a crush on Michael gets a note from him. She's one of the chicks that he was like, "I'll handle both you girls. I'll give you your 3-month memberships in private." She gets a note from him in her locker telling him to meet him in the basement, and she's super excited about it. She's very aroused as she goes down there, and almost immediately when she gets down there, Michael, dark, steamy basement, goop hanging off the. It's not
basement
sexy.
Sucks.
It's not sexy at all.
And it's not up to OSHA.
It's just like a dungeon down there. But then she sees the plate of asparagus.
All right.
He's waiting for her. No. Immediately, the sprinkler system turns on and starts showering her with acid. This is a cool effect. It literally melts her face off. You see just her cheeks melting off down to the bone. It's a really cool effect. And we see a female figure watching from the shadows.
Yes.
Is that Priscilla Wayne, the manager? Is that Catherine? Is it Laura? We don't know. You didn't know.
I didn't know.
No, you didn't. The next morning, David shows up at Michael's house to work on his home computer system. Laura lets him in, and it is immediately awkward between the two. She assures him that despite his suspicions, she and Michael were never fooling around while Catherine was still alive. And he says, "You know what? I believe you. And all men have to move on." But as he says that, she's blind. He's circling her with a screwdriver, like around her neck. And she has, obviously doesn't know. I really like this guy playing David. He's quirky and really kind of weird. And the actor's name is a guy named Merritt Buttrick. And I was surprised that he hadn't actually gone on to do other stuff because I thought he was one of the few guys that actually seemed like some chops in his thing.
I recognize him.
He was in the first 2 Star Trek movies.
Yes.
I think he was one of the.
He played.
Yeah.
I think was he on the ship or he was one of the.
No, it was
He played. It was in Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock. He played Kirk's son.
Oh.
Oh wow! I was totally not thinking that.
Yeah, that was
Really?
him.
Oh. I knew he was in those first 2. I just figured it was.
Oh, I did not recognize him
Yeah.
because his hair was slicked back here and it was kind of frothy in the.
Yes.
Well, I was wondering why he hadn't done more because I actually thought out of everyone in this film, he
She
actually
actually
was.
had something there.
Well, he died at the age of 29 from AIDS.
Oh, okay.
So he couldn't go on to do anything else. But he was good in it. I thought he was pretty good in this. It's a relatively tense scene between him and Laura.
Damn, 29.
This was the height of AIDS. They were going quick back then. You get it, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's a very tense scene, I thought, between him and Laura, and I didn't know really where he was going with it until the doorbell rings. It's Lieutenant Detective Morgan. Let me in! Let me in, you son of a bitch! No, it's not him. Wouldn't it be funny if he showed up?
That would have been great.
I want to see those printouts! No, it's not him. It's this extremely smoking hot chick in a mini skirt delivering Michael's groceries.
Yeah.
Who is this guy and where does he shop?
HEB curbside.
Yowzers, she was hot.
I have your groceries.
I'm here to deliver Michael's groceries. Okay. That makes sense somehow. But
I need to own a gym.
who knows what would have happened if she hadn't shown up. I mean, it was getting pretty close to something happening there. But it broke it up. And did y'all notice, too, not only did he have the cow skulls and the Navajo vests in his house, but he also had a giant wooden penis on his living room wall. Did you see
I
that?
did not see that.
Did you see
I
it?
did not.
Was that a thing in the 80s?
Apparently it was.
It could have been.
In his living room. Like, it was like the center. What's up with that? Well, when Michael comes home...
This is a house of penis.
I don't want anyone to have any doubts what they're getting into when they come over here. This. You got a problem with Navajo vests? You got a problem with penis? You're in the wrong house. Did that chick from the farmer's market show up with my asparagus yet? Yes, she just left.
This man orders more asparagus than anybody I know.
Laura's all, ooh, the asparagus is here. When Michael comes home, he's pissed off to know that David was there. I didn't authorize him to come mess with my computers. Uh-oh. What was he doing at the house messing with David?
Exactly.
He showed it was on his own.
Dang.
You don't mess with somebody's computers.
Uh-oh. I don't know. And it was a big honking computer, too. Click, clack, big floppy disk. Over at the death spa, Dr. Moray snooping around after hours, and just as he discovers the girl's decomposing body in the basement, she's still like,
She's
"Help
still
me."
alive, yeah.
But she's just skin. She's not even skin. She's just
It's
bone.
gross.
She's bone and slime.
There's like a beating heart there.
Oh.
And it's just
Help me. What do you want me to do?
put her out of her
Let me
misery.
get a shovel and scoop you up. I'll take you for help. Oh, yeah, it was really disturbing. I liked it. Well, all of a sudden, Catherine's ghost appears and shot puts his ass all over the place. She throws him up into the fluorescent lights.
I'm
she
out.
throws him up into the rafters.
I'm out.
But here's the thing. All these special effects, whenever we see Catherine, who now know she exists, she is a ghost, she's running around, they couldn't come up with a ghost effect or a makeup effect. She just looks like Catherine when she was
regular
alive.
person. Yeah.
She's just wearing a night gown and she's just Catherine.
Yeah.
Dude, big misfire.
That's why I'm out. I'm
Big
just gonna
misfire. As all this is going on at the gym, Michael has another dream where Catherine is up on his balcony at his house encouraging him to come up there and jump so they can always be together.
She's got two handfuls of asparagus.
He grabs a handful of green onions and a beet and runs up there as fast as he can, just like the old days.
What I love more than anything else, he's literally just running the staircase, and then he's just literally like, she's there, come to me, and he just dives off the thing. Like,
Dives off the balcony to his death, and boom, he wakes up. It was just a dream. And he's still next to blind Laura.
but also I question, you could clearly see, it's like, why were you running towards her? You just saw her on the balcony. She's still on the balcony. Even in your dream, when you be like, why am I running towards her?
Yeah, I need to be going to the crisper and seeing what kind of produce that chick dropped off in the miniskirt. Ted, how's the scar treatment? How's that for a segue?
It's actually picking up a little bit in strength along the halfway part. There's not a lot of change in flavor. There's actually no change in flavor. You're still getting a little bit of that leather. Still getting a little bit of the earth. It's not a lot of flavor coming through, but it's all right.
No, actually, in the third, the strength did pick up, but man, it's just mainly earth. The mineral's gone. It's mainly just straight up earth and a little bit of coffee. I'm not getting the leather's gone. The chocolate's gone. Just earth coffee and a little bit of strength. I'm not even getting spice on the nose anymore.
No.
I wish I was.
No, it's a good cigar. Like I said, I've had it a couple of times. The problem is that you've got...
You said the problem is it looks too much like the Crow to where when you're drunk you buy it by mistake.
I didn't say that. You said that.
I have printouts here that show.
Printouts here. I'm going to need those back. No, you've got two other offerings in this line that are, at this point, phenomenal offerings. That I will put toe to toe with a lot of other cigars, from other manufacturers, to where this is a good cigar, but man, it's the third in the rotation.
Yeah, Yax, anything new?
No. It's been the same. Like I said, it's not bad, but
No, it's good. It's a good Maduro cigar.
It's a good cigar, and it's good construction. It's
Yeah.
good draw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Depending on price point, I'd say this delivers a good smoking experience.
Yeah, I've got no problem going to this cigar. The problem that I have is that if you put the Corojo next to it and this next to it, I'm going for that Corojo over this.
I'm going for that Barber Pole. Unfortunately, it's a shop exclusive, so.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm going to go with the Corojo above this. All right, price point while we're here.
$8.50.
You sound very confident in that.
It's going to be around there. Might be a little bit higher, but
Well, he said he bought it several times. So. The question is, was he so drunk he doesn't remember what he paid for it?
it could be. I might have
Yeah.
been smoking a totally different cigar.
Got one? How much was the Barber Pole? $8.97.
97.
$8.97.
I'm going to go... This is $7.50.
That's a good guess.
Tut nailed it. $8.50 on the dot.
$8.50 on the dot. Which amazes me that Barber Pole was $8.90.
Yeah. I think after our show and how much we worry about it, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Oscar's going to ride the TNCC wave and jack it up. I would. It's easily at least a $10 cigar.
Apparently he's jacked it up before.
What do you mean?
The Leaf by Oscar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those have gone up. Those have
Starting
gone up a
out.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But these have stayed. These have all the 2012s have been out now for 2 years, and they have not.
They have not
gone up.
Which is weird because, specifically with the Leaf by Oscar, which was
I wonder
or
if that
is
price
an
increase.
amazing cigar.
I wonder though if that price increase is just because he's having to make so many more of them. It is great. It has become
could be.
so much more popular. You can't keep pumping them out. If you're making because it started out as a shop. That started out as a shop exclusive.
Yeah, for Island
Gym. And then all of a sudden you start to get into a few more shops. Then you're in online retailers. It's got to cost more to pump out that many cigars.
Yeah, because I know I thought that it was
that price increase makes sense to me.
I thought it was my brick and mortar that was price increasing it, and the guy was like, "No, believe me, it's not."
I'm okay with that. I understand that price increase because it was so small. It got so big so fast. How the hell are you going to hire more people
to do
it,
stuff?
buy so much more inventory to make it without raising the price? It doesn't make sense. I'm okay with that. And
it just surprises me that this, like I said, 2 years this hasn't.
And coincidentally, the Maduro Leaf is my least favorite of the Leaf cigars.
Yeah,
I like the Connecticut best.
the Connecticut is really
I like
good.
the Sumatra.
Yeah.
And I think they have a Corojo of that as well.
Mhm.
I think the Maduro is also my
I
least.
agree with that.
And I really like that Habano that we did. That's not 2012, but or a Leaf, just the Oscar Habano. I think it was our number 10 cigar last year. That was really nice too. But yeah, apparently we prefer our Oscars either lighter shaded or with a twist. Twisted like a barber pole.
I can agree with that because in the non-Maduro offerings, there's a bit more flavor. There's a bit more spice. There's a bit more, pizzazz.
And that
to it.
Connecticut leaf is just bonkers awesome.
It is.
I mean, that's one here. You love that thing.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the next morning when Michael goes to the death spa to check on Dr. Morey, that should have been his first sign something might be wrong. He left him alone in the death spa.
He doesn't call it the death spa.
The sign is working properly now. It says Star Body Health Spa. He finds his seedy lawyer, who's always hanging around. His calculator watch is down in the basement in the power grid. What was he doing fucking around down there?
Well, I like how he opens up the little thing like, son of a...
Dude's just sitting there in the fuse box. He marches over to his lawyer's condo.
But what I love more than anything else about this is that he's wearing a jacket with no shirt.
Oh, yeah, dude. I should...
80s style.
He goes over to his lawyer's house with a leather jacket on with no shirt on underneath it.
Yeah.
And then he has the gall to make fun of his lawyer's jam shorts.
Dude, those were some sweet fucking jams.
They were some sweet... It was like my mom made those jams.
Dude, it was my mom's homemade jams. It was totally my mom's homemade jams. You don't need that. I can make those.
Oh, those are some nice shorts. Fuck you. Fuck you, shirtless leather jacket man.
Well, now I know where the Mexican restaurant gets their curtains. Dude, he makes fun. What are you doing here so early? I'm looking at my lawyer wearing some ridiculous shorts. Where's your shirt? I'll tell you where it is. I got a printout right here. Tell me where my shirt is. Give me that back. Well, not only does he see his lawyer answer the door in those ridiculous awesome jams, his spa manager, Priscilla Wayne, comes out. She just got out of the shower. What's she doing there? Oh, boy. It's all coming together now for Michael. It's all clear. Priscilla and the lawyer have been working together to sabotage the club so they can wrestle total control of it from him.
It's all about the money, man. Follow the money.
The messages on the computer from Catherine, the deadly chlorine steam bath for Laura, it was all you're doing, he says to them. Priscilla, she steps outside and she fesses up. You're right. We're trying to get control of the club. And surprisingly, she says, David, his ex-brother-in-law, has nothing to do with it. It was just us. It was just the two of us. Although the lawyer still acts dumb, standing there in his jams. He admits to nothing. I don't know what she's talking. The bitch is crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. I've been hearing my jams the whole time. Here's my printouts. Michael looks at it. Well, shit. Printouts don't lie.
I can't argue.
It's got the time right there.
But we know it's not just them because we saw Dr. Morey getting catapulted all over the damn basement. Who cares? But it's just like,
whatever.
It doesn't make any sense.
This would work in a different script if you're like, oh, is it them? But no. We already
no,
saw there was
horrible.
A ghost.
It's horrible.
We already saw the ghost.
Just move on.
I mean, they literally just tossed him against the wall.
Like 4 or 5 times.
Well, Michael,
because who else? I mean, would a lawyer decide to rig up a sprinkler system with hydrochloric acid to kill someone?
Well, that was the weird thing. When he accuses them of that and like the diving board and stuff, they don't deny it. Even though it was clearly not them. And none of it makes sense. Michael goes to the death spa.
Well, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for him to leave and then be like, I still can't believe you did that with the diving board. I thought you did that with the diving board.
That would be a great scene. I thought you loosened those nuts.
The only nuts I've got are loosened right here in these jams.
The only loose nuts around here in these jams. Now why don't you go get that pomegranate out of the fridge? What is with this fruit sex?
I would have looked up from my dominoes after that scene.
That would have been good, Yax. Good point. Very salient. Got to look up what salient means later. So, Michael goes to the death spa and instructs our main man, Marvin, to tackle David. He's convinced it's David at this point. Which is weird because they just swore to him that David wasn't involved.
That's how you know he is.
That's how you know he is. If he's... Yeah, good point, Tut. Good point. That's a salient point you just made, Tut.
Oh, man.
That's my new word.
Yeah.
2 correct uses.
It won't be the last. Hey, you see David, Marvin, you tackle him on sight, and if he tries to get away, just sit on him. Sure, David would have liked that. big guy like Marvin. Michael shuts the spa's computer system down all the way. Death Star style. All the lights, blinking lights, go dark. From this point on, dudes will have to manually set their weights at the tricep pull-down machine. That's where you grab a handle and you push down like this motion. It works the back of your arms. It's called the tricep muscle.
I call it the pulley thing.
Or the pulley thing. But now they're going to manually, which I don't see how they would because there's no weights. All the machines, you don't see any weights. They're like all like behind the walls. It's a very weird gym.
You can't set it up manually.
You can't really do it manually.
Well, maybe
there's no pins. There's no weights.
They'll just have to dial it in.
I think we're putting too much.
I don't know what this is, but it does something.
Well, from now on, that's how it's going to happen. Michael summons Detectives Fletcher and Stone over to David's apartment, and they turn their backs while he breaks in the front door. So much like Morgan, Detective Morgan, anything they find in there is going to be totally inadmissible because they just broke in.
They didn't see him break in. They clearly turned their backs to the crime.
And I love that police work. Hey, I know you guys think I'm the killer, but I think this guy is. I'm going to kick down his front door and let's sneak in his place.
All right. Hey, no.
Is there hot dogs in there?
No.
You got hot dogs?
Like all good 80s, he uses a credit card.
Oh, did he use a credit card to get in there?
He used a credit card. Yeah. Which, once again, a credit card doesn't do a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, that's true. And I have a feeling David might have had an inordinate amount of hot dogs in that apartment. We don't know. They find Catherine's old wheelchair in the apartment.
Dun, dun, dun. He does the little kneel down as he stares
David's
at it.
shrine to his twin sister in the apartment.
So she lit herself on fire in the wheelchair?
Yes. There's shots of in the flames of her in the wheelchair. I guess she was still recovering from the miscarriage.
Yes.
In a wheelchair?
Well, if it required surgery, sure, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe she was in a wheelchair. Maybe she was a paraplegic.
Who knows?
I can't see grab-ass Michael, though, getting engaged to a paraplegic.
Well,
she was the only one that could take the eggplant.
Maybe she really loved asparagus.
He has an unnatural love of asparagus.
So they, based on the wheelchair, and then he has a small shrine built to his dead twin sister, they immediately call an APB on him.
Well, this is
He's the killer.
That doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't. It's just a couple pictures of her and a wheelchair.
He loves his sister.
But Fletcher, the guy cop's like, APB all point. We got our killer. He's a weirdo and he might be dressed up like a woman. Where'd that come from?
Don't understand.
And Michael's like,
that's right.
That's your guy. You call it in.
Apparently,
this 10-pack of hot dogs is for you, buddy.
We haven't talked about his transgender the entire movie, but all of a sudden, it's a salient point.
They saw something in there that Fletcher thinks he might be dressing up as his dead twin sister. But we were giving nothing to go along on that with.
Absolutely nothing.
At all. Whatever. I'm going to take a real quick...
Whatever.
I'm going to take a real quick break. I failed to mention it earlier. All night long, we've been listening to Fritz Beer, as always. His double live CD with his band The Bishops. Live at Elijah P's. Go to fritzbeermusic.com. 31 songs, like $12. Get you a CD, digital download. I'm loving it. I think it gives... I told Fritz, I think it gives our show... We've kind of, last few episodes, been listening to this. Gives the show a little more energy.
Oh, yes.
It's a different vibe with the live CD. I dig it.
I just like his voice.
Fritz Beer, me too. fritzbeermusic.com. Go there. Do it. Do you guys like your Bishops t-shirts?
I do.
I haven't seen mine yet.
I can't wait to get it home and
I showed it to you before the show. How many coconut beers have you had? Let me see your printouts.
No, I need that back.
I can't wait to get it home and take the sleeves off of it.
Oh God, don't. They were kind of pricey.
I am.
Tut's got his new Moen shirt. No, I'll be wearing mine out in town.
It's not my Moen shirt. That's my brewery shirt.
You go to your brewery without sleeves on?
Hell yes.
Maybe he's cooler than we thought he was.
That's a Chuck Dawson move right there.
Maybe I don't need to be telling him what tricep pull downs are. A guy talks like that, he knows what tricep pull downs are.
Well, I'm just from East Texas.
That's a salient point. It's a very salient point. Told you I'd get that in there again. That night, the annual Mardi Gras party at the Death Spa is in full effect. It is off the chain, boys. It is off the chain. Everyone's in costumes. Everyone's dancing and partying their tight asses off.
And did we see one of the first girls that came in?
Who? Catherine came in.
Well, not Catherine.
She just walks right in. Did you notice that?
Walks up to the front desk.
Who?
Karen Parsons.
Who's that?
Hillary Banks.
What?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Am I the only one who was looking at the characters here?
I've never
At
watched.
this point,
You know
yes.
me, I hate Will Smith. I never saw that show.
She's a looker.
She's hot. This is one of her early stuff before she did Fresh Prince.
Wait a minute. When was French Prince on the air? By the way, that came out weird because I was exhaling. I'm not. Where's French Prince on the air?
90 something?
Yeah.
She was young in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't she like a high school kid in that show?
No.
No. She was early 20s. Probably 24.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't recognize her.
It's all right. I guess that's okay.
Good
I noticed
eye.
it.
Good eyes.
I got to be honest. In these fitness themed horror movies, if they're in unitards, I tend not to see their face.
She wasn't in a unitard. She
Okay.
was
Oh,
just-
they're in costumes.
She was in
It's a big
costume.
Mardi Gras party.
I did not know that, and I'm not going to rewatch this movie to go see these.
Well,
people.
Marvin is also there in his glorious genie costume.
Oh, yeah.
He greets the detectives as they come in. And as they come in, Catherine's ghost walks right in front of them. But they would know because she looks just like a normal person.
I get, and maybe she's a ghost, and they don't see her. I don't know.
We saw her. That means they
because-
can see her.
Okay,
That's the rule. If we can see it, a character on screen can see it.
As clearly they had a picture of her from David's
I
apartment.
just,
Yeah.
I just.
And
don't
she was on the
know.
cover.
We're looking for this person.
And remember, she was on the. They recognized her from the cover of the L.A. Times when she died. It was a big story, apparently.
I've been staring at this person's photo for the last 8 years.
Well, I had a hot dog in front of my face. David's like, me too. Gosh, pipe down. She makes her. It's terrible.
Terrible.
She makes her way. Catherine makes her way to the computer room. Michael has put some doofus in charge of the computer room to keep David out, and she crushes this guy's skull. He's dressed as a little pirate.
Well,
That was
okay,
his-
first of all, I didn't just go in there and make sure no one gets in. Okay, I'm going to just watch everybody else make out in the gym.
Dude, he's watching the closed circuit cameras. Catherine walks in, I got the impression everyone knew her from the gym.
Apparently nobody knows who she
Apparently
is.
nobody knows who she is, and she walks in.
That's why I'm like,
Crushes
maybe
his
she's
skull.
not, maybe people aren't supposed to be seeing her because she's supposed to be a ghost.
No, he talks to her. She's
Hey.
like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I was put in charge. She has a conversation with him.
And she kills him.
She kills him big time. Catherine assumes the pirate costume. She puts on his clothes and makes her way down to the party, the main party, where she leads the still blind... Michael, of course, left blind Laura stumbling around the party by herself. That chick's got some wicked dance moves. She's bumping into shit.
Here, just put these sunglasses on. You'll fit right
Oh, yeah,
in.
I know he does put some sunglasses on her. That's nice.
Michael, you're such an asshole.
Well, she leads Laura down to the tanning bed room and ties her up on a tanning bed. Killer workout.
That's what I'm saying. They knew. Someone saw that movie.
She then sends a computer printout in the control room to Michael, who's in there, and he sees it shining style. It starts printing out, Michael, I miss you, over and over and over again. This printout just keeps coming out and coming out. And David's over there. I'm going to need that back.
I was about to say the last. I was going to wait to say the last line on the printout. I'm going to need this
I'm
back.
going to need this
You
back.
just could look over. You see Michael taking a piece of asparagus. I don't know what's going on here.
Actually, it's like like a dot matrix. It's a dot matrix deal, but it draws out an asparagus.
I think that's what pushed her over the edge. She saw David doing the asparagus with Laura.
That was our thing.
Our thing.
It was my love of vegetables, not hers.
What if I like some arugula maybe? No.
You ruined it, David.
Look, babe. I only do the asparagus with you. It's rhubarb from now on.
So apparently this is all revenge for him being a horn dog during their marriage. But yet she still wants him. It's like, you were an asshole, I'm haunting you, but I still want you.
But they never really talked about his horn doggedness during his marriage.
Oh, it was pretty clear. He was...
I guess.
Did you see him walking around that gym grabbing everybody and like...
Sure.
Not just
well,
anyone.
dude, I've watched
not just anyone's going to put on that leather jacket without a shirt.
You got to be a real cocksmith to wear that thing. Fritz Beer style.
You see this hair goes all the way down, baby.
I think this might be the second episode in a row I refer to Fritz as a cocksmith. I'm sorry. I don't know why I go there. But it's odd. She's haunting him from behind the grave because he betrayed her, but she still wants him. But then I'm like, you know what? I've watched enough daytime TV to know that's not that crazy. Bitches,
I'm just looking at Michael.
Some bitches be crazy, right?
I'm just going to see him rubbing himself over there like shag carpet ends at the waist, baby.
You know what? I'm going to give a rare right tut to that. Some chicks are crazy, right? Right tut?
Yes.
You saw someone on the Travis Tritt tour.
I did, my friend.
You wait outside a Hopkinsville, Kentucky saloon for Travis Tritt to come out of the bus. You're crazy. Crazy awesome.
Yeah.
Michael confronts Catherine's ghost in the control room. Again, ghost, but she's just an actress in a dress.
No effects, no
effort.
nothing.
They couldn't even do like a little bit of fog in the room to give her some kind of ghostly nothing. Not a wind machine to make her dress blow. Nothing. Well, they spend so much goddamn money on that asparagus. She warns him that if he fucks up, Laura's fried chicken in that tanning bed. Don't make a mistake. But then, just downstairs to the right in the sauna, some poor son of a bitch's face melts off as he's about to get some action from a naked chick. So she's doing that? While she's talking to Michael, she's having some dude's face melt off as he's about to go down on a chick in the steam room?
Apparently so.
She's a multitasking ghost. Well, here's where it gets weird. As the guy's face melts off between the chick's legs in the sauna, Catherine starts transforming into her brother David. And Michael, much like us as audience members, doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know what's going on.
She drops on the ground, she flops around, and the camera will cut to her, and it'll be David in the dress. And then we'll cut back to Michael with like this bewildered look on his face. That's him acting.
Yes, sure.
And then they'll go back, and it'll be her. Again, no effect used to like try to make them meld together. It's just Dave in the dress, her in the dress, Dave in the dress. What the fuck is going on? You're not gonna have to sigh much longer. Michael finally says, "Fuck this, David, Catherine stuff." He runs out of the control room, jumps through a glass wall into the tanning bed area, and unstraps Laura and saves her. Catherine appears, and she tells him that now's his chance. Jump, because she set the whole place on fire. Jump into the flames, Michael, and join me in hell.
Join me in hell?
That's appetizing.
Can you?
I don't know.
Give me a little bit better deal here.
Usually they at least like join me in eternity, join me forever, join me in the pits of hell.
Let our love live on forever. No,
It will be nothing but fields of asparagus.
So, worst case scenario.
If you jump in now, we can make our 9 o'clock appointment with Hitler, who's going to beat us to death with asparagus.
So worst case scenario, I just burn alive with everyone here in the gym, and I maybe don't go to hell. Or I could grab your hand and be sentenced to a lifetime of immeasurable suffering.
Asparagus flogging.
That's where Sam Kinison comes in. Immeasurable suffering. I was married
I was married
for 2 fucking years. Hell. All right.
Devils. Oh, you've been married?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Show him the. Marvin then bursts into the room.
Shit, I'm gonna have to look up Sam Kinison now.
Marvin then jumps through the glass wall. Also does a roll.
Why?
And he tries to full Nelson Catherine's ass. Big dude, he can take care of her. But she throws him off of her. She tells Michael, because you've denied my love, everyone at the Mardi Gras party's about to die because of you. And shit, she's right.
Yes, she is.
The flames go up. A buzzed Detective Fletcher, he's been drinking the whole time. He saunters over to the juice bar demanding more vodka. Get more vodka behind there? She's like, you drank it all. Like, aren't you on duty? Suddenly, she's making some kind of smoothie. The blender comes alive and starts eating up her hand in the blender. But here's the thing. She takes it off of the base, and the plastic blender part keeps eating her hands. Supernatural, anything goes, I guess. But blood and just tissue and everything.
This scene lasts for like 7 minutes. It seemed.
Yeah, this blender scene goes on.
It just
and
kept
on.
going on and on.
And Fletcher's just getting all this blood. He's drunk and it's just going over his face. Until finally, the freezer door behind him opens and it sucks him in. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie. He gets sucked into the freezer, and all the bottles of sparkling water back there uncork and start spraying him with sparkling water, which that doesn't seem too bad. Might sober him up, actually, a little bit. But then, for some reason, they have an inordinate amount of fresh fish in the locker rooms. I guess they make fish smoothies. But these barracudas back there, their mouths start Evil Dead style.
They're morays.
Are they morays?
I don't know.
Who's eating eel?
They're eels.
They look like barracudas, and they start. The fish come alive in the freezer, and their mouths start moving. And all of a sudden, one of them just reaches over and.
And again, this death scene took way too long.
But dude, it just rips Fletcher's neck to pieces. Blood squirts everywhere. Dude, those fish coming alive, eating that cop was my favorite scene.
Yeah, but it was way too fucking long, man.
It was awesome.
You just made me sit through like 7 minutes of that fucking blender, and now you went through 5 minutes of the fish. I just, come on.
Can't please everybody. Well, Catherine and her supernatural evil ways are just getting started up in the control room. Priscilla, while this fire's going on, she goes into the bathroom, Priscilla Wayne, the manager, to freshen up her makeup in the mirror, and she somehow, Catherine makes her head just blow up. Her head explodes.
The mirror explodes. It blows her head off.
And all of a sudden, all the doors in the whole spa lock, and a fire engulfs Starbody Health Spa. Everyone's burning alive. Michael takes Laura down to the basement where he blows the fuse box. He has the idea that could do something, and it does. Somehow, blowing the fuses blows up Catherine, and he slumps down next to Laura as the whole shit box goes up in flames around them. Everybody's dead, except for Marvin, thankfully. He shows up.
Yes.
Just long enough, they all show up in the control room at the same time, and Michael explains to his buddy Marvin and the female detective who's still alive that Catherine's ghost took over David's body and did all this, and they accept it as if it's nothing crazy at all. The LAPD detective, makes sense.
Yeah, sure. That checks.
We're just going to chop this up to a ghost.
I've seen some shit.
I'll write it in my report. Ghost.
I just watched my partner die from a...
She's like, Morgan, all right, Michael, but I want you on a plane out of here and never see you again.
I don't want to never see your ass again.
Okay.
I can prove I didn't do it. I got printouts. They seem to accept that crazy story, no questions asked. They run out of the burning spa just as Catherine looks into the camera. Her eyeball explodes all over us and the lens, and that's it, the end.
We did miss, actually, my favorite scene of the movie.
Somehow I skipped over your favorite scene?
Where the female cop...
Stone
is sassy, and they're trying to get into the computer room. And she's like, it's locked, and she just pulls out her gun. Fuck this computer shit! Bam, bam, bam! It just for some reason I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's the only takeaway I had.
That was your
from
favorite scene in the
entire
movie?
It was such a shit movie. It was kind of heartless. I'm sorry. It just
I can't believe how much I didn't enjoy this. Ken Foree, blood, gore, 80s gym. I spent so much time. I should have loved this movie, and I didn't. You said you liked it better than Killer Workout. Did we change your mind?
I like parts of it. I like the fact that it had a higher caliber of actors.
It had a higher caliber of actors, but unfortunately, it didn't have good actors in the right spots. It had a lot of actors in like little cameos or just one-off scenes, but your leads.
You didn't have
weren't
as
that
nearly
great.
a good dance coordination.
Oh, God. The aerobic scenes were so... In 5, 6, 7, 8. Dude.
I'm sorry. There's times where I'm watching Killer Workout, and I don't get me wrong. I don't like the movie Killer Workout, but I'm looking at it going left, right, left, right, left, right.
It's hypnotic.
Left, right.
And it's awesome. And I don't care what anybody says. Killer Workout is a killer movie. I love it.
Death Spa just
Death Spa left me...
It didn't have the soul.
I'm going to call it Death Nah. Huh?
Death meh.
Yeah. And I can't really... Maybe if I had watched it separate from Killer Workout and I wasn't comparing the two, like maybe the Maduro cigar. Maybe
No,
if,
that's actually a really good point.
maybe if I had smoked the cigars
No,
on...
it's not a good point. This movie sucks.
Maybe if I had smoked the cigars separate, I would have... That Barber Pole was so good. How could the Maduro possibly... I like Killer Workout so much. How could Death Spa... But you know what? I think if I revisit Death Spa down the road, I'll have the same ho-hum kind of thing to it.
Yeah.
Besides the paranormal guy, who was kind of interesting.
He was the,
Ken Foree is
yeah.
always fun to watch.
Oh, yes.
Man, give me Rhonda, give me Jamie, give me Chuck Dawson. I love those characters. Give me Jimmy. Give me Detective Morgan. At least he's a weirdo and really stiff, but at least he had like a... I don't know. I really like Killer Workout.
He had passion.
Yeah, let's not go that far.
Well, no, I will say that. Sometimes when...
Well, the cops in Death Spa were just set decoration. They really didn't have a role. They were never really trying to solve anything.
No.
Morgan played an essential role in Killer Workout. He was always a present. He was always there. These cops just kind of showed up.
They were just there to stuff your face with hot dogs.
It's a murder mystery. We got to have cops. So we'll have these two typical LA. How could she be partners with him? It's just kind of one of those deals.
It just seemed to me like Killer Workout had more of a heart to it.
It did. And say what you want, you'll agree with me. Deadly Prey has heart.
Oh, yes.
David A. Pryor, man, he made movies on a tight budget, and he cast a lot of people that probably wouldn't get cast in other stuff.
Yeah.
Like Ted Pryor. But God damn it, they give their all. And they believe in what they're doing. And I just didn't really get that from Michael or anybody else. David was really good in this. The brother-in-law was really good. I want to reiterate that I think he could have gone places if he had
not died of AIDS.
Not died of AIDS. I did like his performance.
Yes.
All right. I don't think anybody's ever done a double feature of these two before. So there you go. Happy Halloween.
That's us, motherfuckers.
Would be weird if I gave out asparagus to kids at a trick-or-treating this year.
Yes.
It would. Just a little bit.
Especially if you're thinking about this movie as you're giving them out.
Well, no, that wouldn't.
That's
I would
wrong.
never do that.
I mean,
And I'm
unless you-
pretty sure that's guaranteeing my house to get toilet papered or egged if I'm putting asparagus in those pumpkins.
Yes.
Well, that or you're
Old
handing
man
out.
Cade gave out asparagus again.
Oh, great. Now he's giving out printouts.
Why is Tut egging
Hey,
in
we
my
need
house?
those back. Sir, did you give asparagus? I got some printouts here that can prove I didn't do that.
Checks out.
Look
It
at the-
says right here.
Look at those timestamps.
You know what, boys? Do my local police. Let's just do ghost on the... It's a ghost. He said it was a ghost. Let's do that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Man, it was a good night. I missed the doctor. I thought the doctor would have had a lot of fun with this one.
Yes.
Oh, he totally would.
He was going to be here. We had to do a scheduling thing, and apparently he had already bought some pretty totally awesome headband, wristband. He was going.
Aw, now you're making me feel bad.
He was going to come in a tank top and the whole 9 yards.
Aw.
I just pictured he's going to show up like Will Ferrell in that basketball movie. It's kind of what I was. Or Bruce Jenner when he was Bruce Jenner. But no, he'll be back next week for our big Halloween, our final bootacular, spectacular drinking movie, the new 2018's Halloween, which should be exciting.
Oh yes.
Should be, will be. 3 thumbs up on the Barber Pole.
Yes.
Absolutely.
3.
I'm not going to give it a thumbs down.
I'm not going to give a thumbs down at all.
No.
3 thumbs up on the Maduro, not nearly as high as the Barber Pole,
No.
and 2 thumbs up on the beer.
Yes.
It's not a bad night.
It was a great night.
I think I've had my fill for coconut for the year.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm going to stick around and drink a few more. You guys going to stick around with me?
Yes.
Good answer.
No, I'm out. No, of course I am.
You'll be here for me to rub a piece of asparagus around your lips.
Wow. These
No,
printouts.
I'm definitely down.
These printouts have just proven me that I've got to go.
Yeah. Quickly the tides change. Tut, give us some links.
Follow us on Twitter at TNCCcast. Go to the Instagram page where you can see a whole bunch of lovely pictures. TNCC_podcast. Join us on Facebook, Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Join us on YouTube, Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
You might get to see if our new camera picked up our television. You might get to see some cool visuals.
I hope so.
On the YouTube thing.
It's been nice to
A lot of chicks doing aerobics.
look up at the
Yeah.
it's nice.
Nice. I honestly haven't heard a word you guys said tonight. I hope you guys were funny.
We were hilarious.
Because I think I made it clear in the opening I'm not about funny anymore. Do we have time for one more poem?
No.
No, we're out of here.
No.
Do your thing.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We will have one more Halloween show, and then we'll ride out the year with some non-horror movies. Maybe we'll get to some rom-coms, some period pieces.
I'm good. I'm good with this.
Let's go. Let's get far away from the horror genre and finish the
Can we do like
review
a
an asparagus documentary.
Can we do like a retrospective of all
Did you say
the
retrosparagus?
retrosparagus of Matthew McConaughey's rom-coms?
No, we can't do that.
Okay.
I'm a glutton for punishment. Obviously, I'm show up here every 2 weeks, but I'm not that big a glutton for punishment.
Well, you're wrong, but that's cool.
Okay, well, that's all we got. So we'll see you next time. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Sayonara, motherfuckers.
To learn more about the time I was fired from my aerobics instructor job back in 1986 because yours truly, as always, was keeping it a little too real, please research the still highly debated court case of City of Pasadena versus Keith A. Howell. I'll just say this. You show me a man whose balls don't constantly plop out of his leotard while doing deep knee bends, and I'll show you a man who's anything but a man at all. Real talk, folks. Real talk. Society might not want to hear it, but that ain't Keith A. Howell's problemo. And in the meantime, to learn more about the cigars and libations enjoyed on tonight's episode, you can visit OscarTobacco.com and OskarBlues.com. The first one is Oscar, O-S-C-A-R, and the second one is Oscar, O-S-K-A-R. For more on O'Brien's Irish Pub, the live music leader in Central Texas, please visit o'brienstemple.com and download their free smartphone app, where you'll find full beer listings including over 40 on tap, menu information, and a calendar of upcoming live events. To listen and purchase music heard on tonight's program, check out www.fritzbeermusic.com. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. This is Keith A. Howell saying until next time, friends, unless we see you sooner at the pub. So keep it smoky, and for God's sake, keep it ballsy as well.
Work, get drunk, go to sleep.